Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know. How long ago?
Oh, sure. I knew you didn't get it. Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, chill, bro. Chill.
Hey, kitty. Sometimes she's annoying. Sometimes. Hey. Jeez, get over here. She's just a little kitty, you know?
She did the God damn it, kitty. Yeah, damn it, kitty.
Yeah, I think I wrote no credentials on your window like at least over 2 years ago.
Yeah, literally, it was 2 years.
It was on it. It was probably still on there for a solid year. Yeah.
And here
here
it
we
is.
are, bud. Dude, cheers. We need a.
Oh, we need glasses.
I don't have any glasses. Let me go grab some.
Should we be just full blown send it degenerates?
Oh, just pulling straight from the thing?
Yeah.
Should we do glasses?
I mean, we don't have any credentials. We might not know how to use glasses.
We don't have any credentials. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just pull from the thing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, cool. All right, well, here, you pull the first shot. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Bullet Bourbon, official sponsor of No Credentials, and Dr. Pepper, also an official sponsor of No Credentials.
79,000 grams of sugar per can.
Per can.
To just ensure diabetes.
It ensure diabetes. It goes perfect with a nice shot of poison.
I agree.
I actually have a little surprise for you, too.
Whoa.
Yeah, so check this out.
Okay, checking it out. Ooh. Damn, that sounds good on the mic. Oh, wow.
We've got a full keg here.
Oh.
And look at this.
Woo, man. How'd you know I like beer? You got a fridge up here?
Including.
Holy, I had an inclination. Just a small inclination.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we got some chilled glasses.
Wonderful.
We got a keg of beer. Here, I'll
How
put
do
it
we
off to the
tap
side.
that?
I've never tried it before, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
So let me try to give it a go.
yeah, let's get in there.
So
Let's make sure to get it real close to the equipment. Let's get it.
Venting the keg. Hold the top of the keg. Here, I'm just gonna.
It's nice. Okay. Ooh,
There we go.
that was a good sound.
That was a good sound.
Sound made me thirsty.
Now pull.
Oh, it's got a little.
Yeah. This thing's legit.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
And
What does it say at the bottom? The brew of Bavarian kings.
Yeah.
It's like BMW. You know what BMW stands for?
Oh, something Bavarian.
Bavarian Motor Works. Which I'm pretty sure before Jamie. I'm pretty sure.
Jamie, pull that shit out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a. They made like airplane engines first.
Oh, BMW did?
Yeah.
Huh.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
No
Jamie,
credentials.
can we pull that shit out?
no C's. No
Yeah.
CDs.
You know, that would be the one benefit. That's like one of the major benefits of having like an actual producer that sits there is pulling shit up, but also too switching the camera angles. I think doing it like live production would probably save a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, because you wouldn't need to do as much editing. You
Yeah.
just kind of just send it.
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
Ooh.
We're rocking and rolling. All right, this first one might be a lot of foam.
Ah, yes.
Here, I'll.
The first foam.
Oh shit.
First foam.
That's 90% foam.
That's a 90% foam. 1040.
That's a 90% foamer.
Yep.
Here, I'll
Are we recording?
yeah, we're live.
Oh,
We're rocking and rolling,
wow, we
baby.
are live. Wow, caught me off guard. You
Ladies and
slippery-
gentlemen.
you slippery bastard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the No Credentials podcast.
My name's Casey William Anker, first of his name. I don't have any social media. If you Google me, you will find an old picture from Facebook, which I can't find the password of or delete it. So that's fun.
Nice. I've got my Facebook is also like a picture from high school. I think I just haven't changed yet.
It's weird that that's a thing.
Facebook has been overtaken by an older demographic.
It seems
not
to
sure.
be that's the trend now. Though I think that the younger generation uses it primarily for like a marketplace.
I think so.
Like-
There's like a good amount of people that buy and sell shit on Facebook Marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Here, so I'll give you the less head one.
Not I.
Not I either. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bud. Oh,
That's
what
a
a
nice
clink.
sound.
What a clink.
So we got a keg.
Ooh, that tastes real good.
That's not bad, right?
Yeah, that's good.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Hamufri München.
That was spot on, Joe.
Yeah, that's probably how it's pronounced, right?
Hofbrau München.
Oh, okay. Hofbrau München.
Don't quote me.
Imported from Munich, Germany. It's one of our German sponsors. Yeah, thank you. Shout out to them.
Or should we say bitteschön?
Bitteschön. Yeah.
Danke.
Dankeschön.
Danke.
And bitteschön.
Yeah.
Right?
God
Yeah.
damn, we're such illiterate
Wow.
fucking
We're
Americans.
Hey, did you already take a shot?
I have not, but I will do that.
Okay,
I will
hit it.
send us off.
One thing I got to make sure I keep not putting shit like directly in front of the cameras. I think I'll move this to this side. Right where all the valuable equipment is.
It's been sitting in my car for a little bit.
Okay.
It's a 25-minute drive and 114.
Oh,
so,
goodness.
pony up. To me, every time we get drunk, I almost can expect what to happen. Like I almost know for sure we're gonna go to Carlsbad Tavern. Like it's like
Carlsbad Tavern or Walk and Roll.
or
Sushi.
walk and roll.
Yeah.
One of them is happening.
You know, we probably have like 20 pictures next to the alien at Carlsbad.
Yeah.
At least 20.
For our
maybe
listeners
more.
who don't know, there's a little green alien that sits out in front of Carlsbad Tavern.
Yeah.
And every time we go there, we take a picture with ourselves and
Yeah.
some other unexpected patron.
Some random people that are there. I think we've got at least like 5 or 6 groups that just happen to show up that day.
Yeah.
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 Right?
And you know what's funny is like inexplicably they know
Yeah.
exactly what we're saying when we say, you want to take a picture in front of the alien?
Yeah.
They're like, fuck yeah, let's
Yeah,
get out to it.
absolutely.
Yeah. Fucking
You haven't
greetings,
taken
bro.
yours yet? Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. Would you mind actually clicking that light right there, scooting back and just clicking it down? I forgot to turn it off. I'm trying to keep lighting consistent.
Sure. All right, I'm clicking.
Right there. Perfect.
Right.
Okay. Nice. That's good. Hell yeah.
We're working out the kinks.
We're working out the kinks. Yeah, exactly.
And let me tell you, I know my kink.
Well, feet stuff.
I haven't understood that. I've never understood feet stuff.
So apparently, like your like the part in your brain that like governs sexuality is right next to the part in your brain that your foot receptors send like impulses to. So they're like right next to each other, like physically located wise in your brain. And so apparently in some people, there's sort of a crossover where like feet just are really part of like the sexual arousal. So I think that
are you a I mean, we can create boundaries here if you'd like, but I'm just curious. Are you a foot guy?
I've never particularly been turned on by feet. I can say if a girl has really pretty feet or like clean feet, then I feel like that's a good sign for her overall body maintenance.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like
I
someone,
feel
someone
like-
once said if like that's the southerly most part of a girl. If that's looking good, from there it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, I think really it's a spectrum, right? Like just like sexuality in general, liking feet, could a foot get me off? Probably. Could some feet turn me off? Definitely.
Yeah.
So
turn off is probably more for me than turn on.
Yeah, but then there's also people that even like a beautiful foot could not do anything for them.
Yeah.
Maybe even do the other way, like do something bad for them, right?
Yeah.
Like.
I look at like feet like kind of like clean ears. Like it's real nice when they're clearing. It's like not necessarily great when they're good looking, but it's really bad when they're bad looking. If you got earwax coming out the ears or like something like that, that could be a potential negative.
I feel like the foot even more justifiable though, because like you can't really see inside your ear. I mean, you can tell if you stick something in there and you're like, okay, there's some goop coming out.
Yeah,
but like
true that.
you could look at your foot and be like, ew.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to wash my feet,
Could be
clip
dirty.
my nails and
Yeah,
stuff, and like do
exactly.
that stuff. Yeah, you were actually speaking of feet. You were the first person I
Speaking
ever
of
went
feet.
with to go get a pedicure.
Oh, okay. Pedicures are fucking nice.
They are very nice.
They're really nice.
let's all just erase all toxic masculinity right now. Pedicures are nice.
Pedicures are nice.
They're very nice.
If you've never had a pedicure, like go get a
You should
pedicure.
go get one.
It's
Yeah.
really nice.
Agreed.
I mean, they massage your feet. It's like a mini massage, mini just like you're just getting taken care of. And also
Yeah.
too, if you've got some big long dogs, on the
Trim them down.
yeah, they trim them down.
Yeah.
They like rub it down. I did this thing. Well, I did like I think they're called paraffins. They like wrap your leg in like this hot wax. It's like a candle, like a melted
Yeah,
candle. They put it
yeah.
on your thing. Hardens around your foot. They just let it sit there for a while. Take that off. Like rub it down. I mean, it's a nice experience.
I don't understand the science behind it, but it's got to be good for you.
It feels really good.
It feels fantastic.
It feels fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then excuse me. And then also
No, I want to hear it.
you can get some real like ASMR type
Yeah.
stuff in here.
You really
know?
can.
Yeah, these would be perfect for the mukbangs. Just like the people who like really hearing that.
You can deep dive in those sometimes.
Yeah.
I will say.
I think maybe I've gotten into like a TikTok of like, wow, this guy has 17 million followers
And he eats
from eating
spicy
food.
noodles.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. Yeah, but I'm not particularly into it. My sister really likes mukbangs. Yeah.
I wonder if there's some type of correlation between what type of human you are
Kinda
and
like
what
feet
type
people.
of video, like super feet people. I wonder if we could find or draw a correlation into like what your algorithm is. Maybe there's like super feet people like watching like birds tweet. Maybe like like people who like watching mukbang videos want to see like cop chasing videos or something. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
I don't know if there's like
some
weird correlation.
overlaps.
Like there's got to be, right? Because like how else does this algorithm shit work? It's
yeah.
not just like, hey, you fucking guy, and that you watch that, so here. Like,
There's
it's
probably
drawing
overlaps,
something.
but it's probably more like the feet people are also the mukbang people.
Maybe that's what it is.
Like it's basically
the
there's
gross-
the weirdos, and then there's the rest.
and then
of
there's us.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's a whole like OnlyFans that's just about feet.
That does not surprise me.
It's called Feet Finder.
Yeah. That. Oh, it's like a different website.
Yeah, it's particularly for feet people.
Yeah.
So it's got to be there's a significant portion of the population that is really into feet. Then, right? It's probably more than
This
more
brings me
than
to
your
my
average.
next question. Okay. We're both in nice, happy, committed relationships.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with your girlfriend selling feet pics online?
I mean, it's
Really think about your answer,
yeah.
because I've got a really good rebuttal.
Okay. Either way.
Either way. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I'd say it maybe depends. Like feet alone, I wouldn't say would be the worst thing that a girl could do. I'd say and it also depends on what stage. Like, did she sell feet pics before we met? Was it something going into it, or is it something that like she's just one day, hey babe, I want to start selling my feet online? Which I don't know. So I guess it sort of depends. I wouldn't say it's definitely not a blanket no, but probably not a blanket yes either.
Right. I think ultimately, no matter how you draw it up, you are sexualizing and selling your body.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the underlying tone.
Yeah.
No matter if your face is in it, or it's your butthole, or your fucking genitals, or whatever the fuck.
Or your feet.
You're still sexualizing your body for money. Now, again, like I'm all for people being empowered in the ways they want to make money, and
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna hate on you because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about my girlfriend right now. I don't share
Yeah.
a fucking relationship with you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it doesn't really matter to me. But like the underlying question being like, are you sexualizing your body and selling it for money? That is just not like a spiritually something that's ever gonna sit well with me.
okay.
Because no matter what you do in life, like let's say you do very well at selling feet pics, right? Then there's progression. Like
Yeah.
there's career progression,
Yeah.
right? Like someone DMs you and is like, piss in a cup,
Yeah, exactly.
fart in a fucking tin can.
What if like
Send
that's
me
a line with her? It's strictly just feet. There's not even any face in there.
Joey,
Yeah.
there's always money. There's always enough money.
That's like the main thing with the OnlyFans girls. Even if they're say like they don't actually show themselves naked, if you're putting yourself out there for $10 a month, $15 a month for bikini pics, there's an amount that you would just take a butthole pic, and
There's gotta be.
That's not okay.
There's got to be. And well,
Yeah.
and like again, no, I'm not saying
Not
as like
okay.
a man,
Yeah.
like that's not okay. Like I don't care. Do whatever the fuck you want. It's
100%.
Yeah, it's
that's
the
a good
oldest
point.
like profession.
Everyone
ever.
is not saying not okay as
Yeah.
far as they shouldn't do it.
Right.
Everyone should be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want.
Of course.
But as far as like my girlfriend doing that,
Yeah.
that's another level.
And
Probably
also,
no.
the same thing to add to that, I'm not saying that other men in relationships should say this is how you should do it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying in my
Everyone has certain
this is how
boundaries.
this is part of my boundaries exactly. Not
Right.
like
the feet pick though. I feel like is a different line. So what if
but
you
it's
were?
that it's the gateway drug. It's the gateway drug into OnlyFans.
How about this? So what if you were a hand model and you professionally hand modeled? Would that be, I mean, under your sort of, it's sexualizing a part of your body
Yeah.
and selling it for money. I mean, that would probably not fly, but would you be a hand model?
I think we would have to go back to when it took place.
Say right now, someone's saying, Case, 150 grand a year. Oh, yeah. You got
why
some good looking hands.
I do actually.
Yeah.
I do have very nice hands. Should we bring it up to the camera?
Get it close
I have
up. Yeah,
very
bring it
nice-
in
I
there.
have very nice
Bring it in there. Get one on this side. Over here. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's not get too handsy.
Okay. So there you go. But I mean,
So
a good living
Okay,
for just
so-
selling pictures of your hands. Are you doing it?
Let's also look at this from a different angle. One, I think there's a huge difference between men sexualizing their bodies and women sexualizing their bodies, only because of you look at history. When women sexualize their bodies, typically the bad outcomes are violent and terrible. When men sexualize their bodies, it's just not the same. It just isn't. Like,
but what do you mean,
the
like, as
culture-
far as in 2023, how is selling pictures of your feet gonna maybe end in violence?
if somebody who is your client and they reach
maybe an
out to you,
obsessed- like an
and they
obsessed
reach out
person.
to you, and then they're like, "Can I have this? Can I have that?"
That
and then they
definitely happens.
maybe you give them a little too much information, or like they have an entire fucking shrine of all your fucking weird products and stuff in there.
I think there's definitely
Like, that's
people out
weird.
there that like
That's weird.
You know,
I don't want.
obsessed
I don't
with OnlyFans
the-
girls
the
or
energy of that going into that, and then like me like sleeping at night and thinking like there's a guy who has like my girlfriend's piss in his closet. Like that's weird,
that's
right?
weird, yeah.
Like there, like eventually there's like a hand model for Cartier or something. Like that's completely different. Why are hands so different than feet? You're actually really making me think about this now.
I think
Be-
they're
because-
probably pretty comparable. Because
Yeah.
again, if we're going,
Why
full,
aren't there hand things then? Why isn't there foot fetish hands?
So I think again it goes to like the location of in the brain. Like there's like I'm pretty sure it's like your neural receptors for where you feel your feet is located right next to the part of your brain that is involved with your sexuality. So it's because of or I guess the theory is because they're located so close in proximity to each other in the
Right.
brain. In certain people,
gets
there's like crossovers.
confused.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
get
Feet,
confused.
sexuality, like feet, sexual.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
Real highbrow stuff today on the first episode of No Credentials.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Hell
fantastic
yeah.
stuff. Really fantastic.
Dude, thank you
stuff.
so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Yeah,
Bro.
I love. I know you got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I just really appreciate you taking the time to get out here.
Anything I could do from a big bud Joe, like this has been our little baby for so long,
Yeah.
and like honestly, you did the X's and O's and meat and potatoes, and like I'm just sitting in the chair. So
Yeah.
really, hats off to you, bud.
Thank
So,
you. I appreciate it,
yeah,
man.
You're like
Yeah.
happy to be here, man.
Yeah, well, I hope to have you on as many times as possible. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
gonna be like Rogan and Duncan, or like one of those where it's like 20 plus appearances.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
Mine was 90% foam, so I'm almost done.
Fucking liar.
Which, okay, I gotta say, maybe a little flat. I don't know. Do you want me to? I think maybe mine
don't
was
think
flat
it's
because mine was
flat.
90% foam.
Yeah, I don't think
probably.
it tastes flat. I think it's just got a very German beer is like they don't deviate. It's the exact philosophically it's the exact opposite of American beer. You do not deviate from the rules, so to speak,
Like a
of
certain
German
set
beer.
type
Yeah,
of
like
beer.
there's the Pilsner and there's like the certain
German is
different-
mostly like lager, right? Is it?
correct me if I'm wrong. Like a Hefeweizen.
Yeah, Hefeweizen.
Yeah,
like that's
but
a
if
very
you drink
German
a Hef
beer.
from Germany, they all taste very similar. Whereas if you drink like a Western hef, there can be a ton of variances. Like they put like fucking Papago in hefs here. Like if you gave a German, you were like, oh, this is a hef with Papago in it, they'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah, like what? This is not a hef.
In general, we go
crazy with
options. I think in general. Yeah, I think
we steal everyone's ideas and make it better. Fucking fuck off.
I think we create a lot of stuff too.
I'm just joking. I'm not a complete nationalist fuck. Somewhat.
Yeah.
Wow,
Cheers, buddy.
that was a good pour.
That was a good pour, right?
Wow,
Yeah, this
dandy.
was much better.
Wonderful.
Cheers. Would you get a keg ready to
You
go?
like this?
Huh? Oh, the stash.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Little beer stash.
This sound is
See, that's the ASMR.
yeah, like when you suck the foam off your mustache is one of the things I distinctly remember about my father.
Oh, interesting.
Which I don't know. Every time he would take a sip of beer, he'd always pour it in a glass, and he would take a fat sip and go. And I don't know why I remember that so well.
Maybe like brings you back to him.
It makes me excited to drink. I'll
Oh,
tell you
wow.
that much.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know. I had always kind of thought when I was a kid that I would like alcohol. Maybe that's like a genetic thing. Like I always like would look at like people drinking stuff and I'll be like, I'm gonna do that.
That looks fun.
I'm gonna do that for sure.
Huh, interesting.
Like I wasn't one of those kids in middle school that was like, I'm never ever drinking or drugs or anything. Like, I mean,
I've
the
taken
drugs
the
have-
Dare
whatever.
Challenge. Remember
Yeah.
that was a thing in high school.
Yeah,
We had like we were forced to sign this ATM card, this abstinence to life, and it was abstinence from sex and drugs and all of this. And
Okay, sex is too much.
We
Let's
made
chill.
it. We made a signature. Do you think were your parents drinkers like when you were young?
Yeah.
Like both of them?
Yeah.
Do you think that was like they had just had a lot of fun doing it, and you're like, yeah, that looks fun, or you think it's just maybe like your whole family?
I don't know if my parents had problems drinking growing up because they hid it from me. If they did. I don't know if they did.
Maybe like functional drinkers, or
Maybe. Yeah. Like, I mean, my mom had a great job. Like she raised me and my brother like pretty much by herself. Like,
Yeah.
She had some help from my stepdad and stuff too. But like, you know, I think in general, like my dad, I don't know, my dad's a whole different fucking story. But
Yeah.
like he like somewhat had it together. You know, he wasn't like living on the curb.
Yeah.
You know, so which is great. That's my line of success.
That's your standard.
Are you homeless? No.
Wow.
Good job. All right, you made it.
You're doing better
So
than
just to give you an idea where I came from.
Yeah. Huh.
Like
Interesting. Wow. There definitely is some genetic stuff to alcoholism.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's not my mother and father particularly. I think it's the last 20 generations. I'm Greek and German.
There's a bunch of drinkers.
For the last 2,000
Yeah.
years, my ancestors have been drinking beer and drinking wine. Like that's just
well, to be honest, like probably the whole like human culture has been big drinkers for most of like past 1,000 years. Or
I mean,
more.
it wasn't uncommon for children to drink beer because
water wasn't clean.
they didn't have clean water.
Yeah, they would drink like super low alcohol
literally,
beers and
yeah.
wines and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was fermented and yeah.
Yeah, and then you would die when you were 28, and they're like, "What's up?" Oh, he lived a good life. Hey, old Jimmy.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
He was lit the whole time, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's like genetic predispositions to things, but at the end of the day, everyone has control of their own life. You got to just like take it under your own reins, you know?
I think that's a broad thing to say, though, because I think living as a human now in today's world is not, in my opinion, a natural human thing. It's not natural for us to go to work. It's not natural for us to drive cars. It's not natural for us to talk on cell phones. Like,
Yeah.
none of that is natural human behavior.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Like we are in what we've created. Like it's the human condition. Like
Yeah.
we created this and we have to navigate through it. Now,
So,
if we have to navigate through it, sometimes, and a lot of times, I think, which is underplayed a lot in the United States, is like, we need help.
Yeah.
We need fucking help doing it. And how you help doing it is you go speak to a medical health professional. And we don't have access as much to that. So, like, if someone, you have to think in America, it's common to be like, oh, I need to go talk to somebody because I'm going crazy. It's like, no, you need to talk to someone anytime.
Yeah.
If you're feeling great, go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, and
That is
explain why you're
interesting.
feeling great to them so that
Yeah.
they can be like, I always thought about like this, like the greatest minds ever to ever be humans, they wrote down things every day. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you need something,
Need
a
communicate.
textbook to learn about yourself. If you can't think back 10 years ago and know what made you happy or made you sad or what decision you made or anything else, how are you supposed to ever learn from yourself?
Yeah.
You can't flip back on the annals of history and just be like, oh, I remember.
Journaling is super important.
I agree.
Yeah. You know what? I actually started journaling like around like 20 years old or so. And I have this one journal, and I wish I made more entries to it, but I have journal entries from around that age 20 till I actually haven't even written in it recently, but I read it myself for the first time like a year ago, and it's been something that I'll write anytime I'm very stressed. I'll like write in there, and then it's sort of cathartic for me just to get it out and write in there, and then I'll never
word,
read
by
it.
the way.
What?
Great word, by the way.
Cathartic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good one.
Well, so it's super nice in that way, and then. But I just never read it. And for the first time I read it, and to be honest, it was like a beautiful gift to myself that I was able to look at my own mind like from years ago and see the things that I was going through. And I've always, I guess like it's a common theme throughout the human experience, like dealing with stressful experiences. But like I've looked at it and like realized like how much I was stressed in this day or this particular time. And it was a really beautiful, like I said, sort of gift to myself of an insight into my own mind years ago. And so I thought that was really, really cool.
Right.
But, you said something about like what we're doing is not natural. Like this isn't a natural part of way.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like kind of like how you define natural, because I think that's been a common theme throughout all of history, that like this new shit is not natural. Like that's what the whole like Amish people
Right.
are about.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
how we had it in 1743.
Yeah.
That's
That was
where we
perfect.
peaked.
We peaked. Yeah.
We don't need anything
I
past
mean,
that. We had the
like-
perfect amount of technology in this year and not further. So, there were
Besides
probably
them having sex with their family members, they might be right. They might be onto something.
they
Besides
picked the point in time that we
besides
were
the
good.
outbreak of colorblindness, they might be onto something.
So like,
I don't
what is
know.
natural? So like, I mean, it's probably wasn't natural at first for meat to be cooked when like fire was first
Yeah.
invented, when they were
Yeah.
only eating like stuff that,
sure.
before they'd figured out fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that maybe was seen by certain members
Yeah.
of the culture as unnatural to cook your meat.
Sure.
So I feel like natural is maybe just an ever evolving thing. And so
Absolutely.
now we're just evolving at such a rapid pace. And there are a lot of things that like, I guess without defining it specifically, like unnatural, like sitting in a desk is just not good. I mean,
Right.
if you look at like our history, like
Computer.
it's just not good. I mean,
This,
it's at least
like-
something that like our evolution is not adapted to. It's definitely not good. And like this, like over prevalence of, fucking depression and anxiety and all of this, it's probably good like symptoms that like what we are doing is not natural. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like you kind of just got to adapt to like whatever it is. There's a lot of things that are like fucking insane and maybe incredibly helpful. Like, being able to make money by just sitting down and not having to go hunt lions.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of sick.
Yeah.
And like being able to make so much money where, it's like, you can have a million lions or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
All from just sitting on your butt and
Right.
like making phone calls or doing something like that. I mean, that's a pretty incredible thing.
It is.
Actually.
It is.
Yeah.
To
And
be able to think, 2,000 years ago as a man, to be able to try to fend for your family, you couldn't sit in a chair.
couldn't sit in a chair to fend for your family.
No,
Now you can
no.
be like one of the best fenders around
Literally.
by sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty interesting.
Super interesting. And because I think of that change, we need a little bit of a helping hand. We need a little bit.
Maybe that's
of-
AI.
Maybe it's AI. Maybe it's God. Maybe it's a shrink. Maybe it's your family.
Maybe it's psychedelic drugs.
Maybe it's psychedelic drugs. I think there's a ton of ways to find out why, but the underlying question is, how do we do it? And is it necessary? And it is very necessary. And we don't, in the United States, react until it's too late for the
Yeah,
most part.
yeah, exactly.
And then we go, oh, fucking homeless on the streets, whatever, which that's a whole nother topic. I don't. Even
But
wanna
like in
touch
your
on
own
that
personal
yet.
life, you don't react until something gets
Until
catastrophic.
something gets exactly really bad. Yeah,
That's one thing that's beautiful about psychedelics to me is that like there's often things in your life that are going bad, and what psychedelics have done to me is like help you address the truth. Like whatever is like a truth in your life that needs addressing, it forces it's like a self-willing, like a self-imposed dive into whatever's going bad. So rather than letting it cramp and get worse and worse in your life, and all of a sudden it becomes like imposed on you that like you need to address this because this is something that's like your girlfriend broke up with you because you were fucked up in so far in this way.
Yeah,
it's a way of just addressing it yourself and taking it into your hands firsthand.
Yeah. There's like a Bob Marley quote I think that says like cannabis reveals you to your true self, like you can't hide or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and what he was saying is that like when you smoke cannabis, like it like if you have a problem with your life, like it's immediately going to be presented.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's going to be presented.
Well, weed is just like a mild psychedelic. And so, people like have like mild psychedelics or sometimes intensely psychedelic trips with it. But I think even with that, people like just get such a tolerance, or it becomes more a part of disconnecting than it does be a part of, a self-exploration that like even weed can become sort of numbing and maybe not the like what Bob was pointing out in that quote.
What do you think about like kind of the progression that cannabis has made in the last like 10 years in the United States? Pretty incredible.
Super interesting.
I think it's really really
it's
weird.
Pretty incredible.
Like
I mean, I got 2 felonies for weed as a young man.
Like that is fucking crazy.
That's
bro.
crazy. Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
and now it's like you can just go buy as much as you fucking want.
Yeah.
There's this place
What
in Tempe.
what did you get caught with? How much did you get caught with?
Like about a half a gram.
Are you fucking kidding
A half
me?
a gram and a bong, and I got 2 felonies for that. Insane.
Did they both stick in court too?
Task was like a big thing at the time,
right?
And I'm not sure if it still is. It's TASC. I forget what it stands for, but it was like a pretty common thing. I know at least a dozen people probably that have like gone through Task.
Jesus,
do you know what it is?
I have no idea.
So it's like
I grew up in California.
It's been legal for a while over there, right? Like recreational.
I believe 1991.
Oh wow,
was when I
like
know it was the early 90s is when
illegal.
Not recreational, medical. Proposition 2.
That's what I meant. Like
Proposition 215.
medically legal.
Yeah, Proposition 215.
There's not a single other state that's been medically legal since like maybe 2015, right?
Right.
I think that
California
was
was
the
the first
state.
one. And I know Bush Senior. This was like big stuff when I was like a kid and stuff. We would get raids from the
Federal?
from the DEA to like cannabis facilities. We
Wow.
call them the clubs.
Yeah, clubs.
The clubs, yeah. And they
Well,
would
there was
be
a lot
raided.
of illegal ones too.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
when you open up when you're the first state in the union
To have it,
make
you're gonna have a lot of
cannabis legal,
motherfuckers.
You're gonna
like,
have some
tipping
dickweeds.
that. Yeah.
dude.
You know
exactly.
what? When I was
fucking
like,
this shit up for everybody else.
that's hilarious. When we were out of high school, I think it was like 2011 or 2012. We went to California, and it was one of the first times we're like, dude, weed is like legal over here. We can like get like, and it must have been recreationally legal at the time, or maybe there was this fine line or something.
It was 2000. 2012. I think that was we were recreational.
So it was definitely like 11 or 12. And we went there and we went to this smoke shop. We just looked up places. This was like in this, like, we had to go down this alleyway to get to it in the first place. It was like this parking lot. It was really weird. We go in and there was a section over to the side that was like, hey, come take a dab if you want. And it was like a dab section. And we did it. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like I've never experienced, it was like a girl that was like doing the dabs. Like we did a dab. I was like, wow, so we just have like a dab for free? Like I didn't even know that was like, that could be a thing here. She's like, yeah, well, we're illegal, so.
Just no shame. No fucking shame.
We're illegal. I was like, oh, okay.
Man.
So
I
this
wish-
isn't normal.
I wish you would have followed that up with, well, we're DEA. So fucking sucks to
Hands down.
suck. Yeah,
Hands over your head.
Oh my gosh. I had a friend that ran a cannabis club. The club. We called them the clubs in
clubs.
California. And he would bring in a goat
An actual
A
goat.
goat.
Huh.
Yeah. And
For what reason?
just so people could like get high and like touch the goat and like play with it. And he said it worked really well.
Not a bad
It was
move.
like his buddy's goat.
Wow.
And I asked him one time, I was like, anyone ever try to fuck it? No one did.
Oh, wow.
I thought someone would.
He's like, no, but you're like on my watch list now.
I was like, can I come? Can I make the goat?
Can I have like some alone time
Speaking
with
of
that
fucking
goat?
goats, do you know in Spain, bestiality is legal now?
Wow. Now, what is this, like a recent law that's passed?
recent.
No way.
I believe it. This was this year. I honestly, I'm just want to even.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
I literally need it to. I need it to be fact checked.
All right,
because,
yeah,
like,
fact check that. Because
yeah.
that's quite a statement, to be honest.
Yeah, Spain.
Like, I don't care what country you're in. I mean, that seems a little crazy.
Oh boy,
Oh, boy.
I might have just got fucked.
What?
I might have just got clickbaited one time.
No.
Oh, it's far right propaganda.
Wow. So you're a victim of propaganda.
What's new?
You're like, wait till I tell you about my QAnon opinions.
It's so polarized. Oh my god, it's gonna be so hard for me to sift through all of this. We need a Jamie.
Yeah.
See,
that's what's nice about like a producer.
I got
that's, like,
clickbaited.
over on
And
the
that's what
side.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor talked about it. She's down to be our Jamie.
Wow, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, she could be like our
Can
Jamie.
we should call her Taylor though.
No.
Is that a nuance thing? Should I take it away when I laugh?
Well,
like
sometimes-
the way that singers sing when they like yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm yelling and I don't want to like scream
Oh.
into the mic.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I could hear myself. So sometimes I'm like, ah. I need to like
Yeah.
bring it away a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bring it
Also,
away,
too,
bring
maybe
it
I think I
away.
feel like I touch this thing a little bit too much. It just like it's never at the perfect level.
It's never. It's
constantly
never.
just trying to adjust
That's life,
it over
man.
here.
That's
Wow.
just life.
Yeah, well, that's life.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta say, it's like I said. I mean, it's ASMR, isn't it? It's such an interesting way to have a conversation. This is because it's like, how many times have you and I chopped it up, fucking just drank, hung out, like just been good bud pals together?
Yeah.
But like, this is like a locked in way.
You are more locked in. You're more dialed in for sure.
Yeah. The headphones, I feel
I'm
like do it.
also like, believe whatever you want with the fucking zodiac shit, but like I'm a Leo,
Okay.
and I like to hear myself talk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love the center of attention. Like I know this about myself.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, fuckers. Like if I'm stealing the fucking thunder,
Yeah.
it sucks to suck, bro.
Dude, you're a fun time. I gotta say, like, you're a fun time. Like, you're like, it's because people talk about different things of different intelligences. Like, social intelligence is probably one of the hardest ones to grasp. And I know it's not for you because that like shit comes natural. But like, literally, you can be the life of the party at any party, and that is something that most people cannot. And like, I gotta say, man, you're just a blast. Anytime we hung out,
Wow,
we hang
man.
out. What have you been the best man at like 4 weddings this year?
So fucking many. I'm just so I love all my friends that got married. Yeah. No.
You've attended how
I've
many weddings
spoke-
this year?
I just got back from 6, I believe.
6 this
And
year.
yeah, this
and
year.
we're so that's
It's-
almost
it's
one a
up.
month.
It's yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And how many were you the best man?
2. Oh, wait. So I was only the best man in 1,
Okay.
but I've spoken 3.
Okay, wow.
So
Huh. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good.
3 I've spoken half of them.
Yeah.
Like I was asked to give a speech.
Yeah,
Which
right.
like, to me,
Not
that's,
everyone's asked to give a speech.
most people are not.
Most people are not.
Most people in the wedding party aren't asked to give a speech,
Yeah.
or they are, and people say, no, not really.
Nah, probably
but when
not.
I'm given the opportunity to speak,
You're like, absolutely.
do you mean the spotlight's on me?
Yeah.
Like I get to entertain a group of people.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And I think what's interesting about that is why people think like social intelligence, let's call it, is like more difficult to overcome is because I don't think it's really learned. It can be learned. I think people can definitely become better public speakers, but it takes a fucking ton of effort.
Yeah.
Like the last wedding I was at, my buddy, fucking good friend, Kevin Rogers, absolute fucking beast. his family are all geniuses. Like his dad is a fucking PhD in like thermodynamics and works for like Lockheed. His mom is like some fucking MBA from Stanford and like works for fucking Lockheed too. And like they're like his mom gave a 7.5 minute speech, memorized.
Wow. Huh. Good for her.
Dog, I gave a 90-second speech and I was like,
Yeah. I mean, part of that
I
is
love
practice. Yeah, part of that is practice, I think, though, too.
I like
Part of that's just like maybe
I
intelligence.
think people
as
get
well.
too. I think people get too stiff at weddings. I think that's what makes it a little distasteful. Is when you're too stiff. You know, like I started the speech off by saying, "Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today," and everyone like laughed and shit. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, wrong one. Hold on." You know, just
The comedy is like a essential part of a good speaker. Like no matter what the industry, no matter what the topic, if you can work some comedy in there, you're going to engage the audience
Right.
tenfold compared
know
to
why?
if you're just why.
because serious is fucking boring.
It's a little boring.
Serious is boring.
You know,
It's-
you gotta
it's
work
fun.
some funny into that.
Yes,
And
yes.
most things are funny if you find the angle.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta
You
work
have
some
to-
funny into
We
that.
have to remind ourselves that why are we going to this thing to listen to this fuckers talk?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we want to be here because we like, you know, copper cathodes and like the way they interact with fucking whatever leaching and
Whatever it
the
is.
mining company, you know. But like, is this guy gonna pepper in some fucking good
Some
copper
fucking
jokes?
juice?
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what keeps us like engaged every
Exactly.
paragraph or
Yeah.
so, you know.
It's
and
funny.
a lot of those you can't script.
No.
You kind of got to read the crowd.
Yes.
You kind of got to like.
Well, you
know,
can get good. You can get better at like different
Right.
openers and different things. And yeah.
My go-to is dad jokes.
Okay, that's
They're
nice.
surface level. Most people understand them. Like it encompasses
Yeah.
an entire range of humor, like from dry humor
Yeah.
to like intellectual humor. Like you can make an intellectual
Yeah.
dad joke.
Nice.
But it's
Yeah.
still very dry.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know,
Honestly,
like,
dry ones are pretty funny too. Sometimes.
yeah, and it's PG.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
like you were not, you
Yeah.
know, we're not offending
Yeah.
anybody in this
No, it's not
world
bad.
now.
You know, one thing that I'll do is because I'll go to like real estate events and like, you know, I'll try to, you know, either present a property or do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my go-tos I also do like, I'll even do Toastmasters. I did Toastmasters
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
Cause
You've been telling me about that
liked-
for a while.
Yeah, I liked it. I like doing that.
Yeah.
I stopped doing it for certain reasons. I'll maybe tell you in a second, but one of my kind of go-tos to like, if I'm speaking up, it's like, you know, everyone usually introduces themselves first. And so I'll get up there and I'll be like, "Hi, my name's Joe and I'm an alcoholic." Oh, sorry, wrong meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
Yeah.
Usually that gets them going a little bit.
Silly
Yeah.
and it's like starting, you know, it's the classic one where everyone says sex.
Yeah.
Now that I have your attention, let's talk about why we're here. Like, right? Like stupid
Yeah.
surface level shit like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd make it a little less offensive. That's offensive.
That's offensive.
Yeah, but just working some funnies in there is like such a nice part of becoming a good public speaker.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
but so like so you know, you mentioned if it doesn't come natural, it takes a ton of work. I gotta say, for me, it never came natural. For as far as like interacting with people, I've always been very reserved throughout my entire childhood. I was never like an outspoken person. I was never like the popular kid or like anything like that. I was never unpopular or part of the nerd group or anything. But I was never but I was not ever like necessarily like, you know, a popular
Yeah,
guy. That just
right.
it just wasn't me. If something was extremely important and needed to be said, I would speak up. But other than that, I was like generally quiet.
Right.
And so I've always like tried to, I mean, part of it, to be honest, has just been like psychedelics have helped me like come into myself a little bit and just become more relaxed and try to just almost trust myself or get out of my own way.
Yeah.
But I've also done things like Toastmasters and stuff like that and tried to become a better public speaker that way.
Yeah.
I actually stopped going to Toastmasters though, because one thing that just, it doesn't work for like how I learn is that when you go to Toastmasters, so for anyone who doesn't know, Toastmasters is like a meetup group with people who are just trying to become better public speakers.
Right.
And typically how the meeting is ran is everyone has assignments for the day, and this is figured out usually like a week in advance. Everyone has assignments for today. There is topic master, joke master, the toast master of the day. There is the question master, and maybe one or two others. So everyone has a job, and everyone at the beginning will go introduce themselves and say, "This is my job." And and one of them is the bell master. And the bell master's job is anytime anyone has the floor, if they say and but any sort of discontinuity, they either have a little mini gong or a bell like bing bing bing.
Oh, goodness.
And so it's
goodness.
Once you're a pretty good public speaker, I think maybe that helps because it like helps you anytime you do a discontinuity, and a discontinuity can be less obvious than an or a hard
Right.
It could be and then and the
Right.
maybe just and then we it's like.
Or let me talk about the next thing.
Extra filler words that are a little bit unnecessary. But for me, when I'm just trying to figure out how to, mostly become comfortable in a group of 20 people, so one of the sort of the meat and potatoes of the Toastmasters meeting is the question thing, and people will say questions, and so one guy will read a question and will be like something like, I can't even think of one right now. It'll just be some random question. And Casey, how would you handle yourself in this situation? So you just put on the spot, and now you've got a minute to do it. You have to speak for minimum 1 minute, but no longer than 2 minutes. And so you're just kind of put on the spot. You got to freestyle a little bit, see how it goes. And if you say someone rings the bell the whole time.
Ding, ding,
and
ding.
for me, it's like it makes me hyper focused a little bit on the mess ups. And I need to be a little bit free to make mistakes anytime I'm doing something.
Interesting.
I often make a lot of mistakes at the beginning.
Yeah.
And anytime in this situation, the bell gets hit, I would just become more self-aware, and it doesn't allow me to get comfortable in just my main thing with it was mostly just getting comfortable talking in front of groups or talking in front of a bunch of people.
Right.
And it's not, it's a pretty nerve-wracking thing if you don't do it
Of course.
very regularly.
Yeah.
I think that's like people's number one fear is public speaking.
That's what, Time magazine.
Yeah, it said like
It
more
was
than
like
death.
and fucking whatever the hell.
Yeah, like public
And
speaking
then
number
public
one, like
speaking,
death number two.
Which is fucking ridiculous. Whoever took that poll, fuck you.
Get your shit together,
That's
people.
that is absolutely ridiculous.
No, I think that's like the
You'd
case
rather
of-
die than talk in front of people. Get your shit together.
I think some people feel that way.
Oh,
Where as far
gosh.
as it's not that they would rather die, I think it's that like they're more scared to public speak than they are of death. People don't think of
I
dying.
need to talk to those people about death. Yes. I'm not saying I'm afraid to die.
Yeah.
But like, it's certainly a big question mark.
yeah.
Are
Are you afraid of death at all?
At this age, yeah.
At this age?
Yeah.
Is that meaning like at this old age or at this young age or?
I feel like I'm very much too young to die. Yeah, I feel like if I died at this age, I'd be not just for myself, like leaving behind things that I could have accomplished, but also leaving people who I want to like walk in my life together with.
Yeah.
I fucking cry right now, bro.
Your girlfriend?
And
Your
my
girlfriend,
friends, my relationships,
your
my
mom.
family, dude.
You never
everybody.
want to die before your parents.
No,
too.
well, you
That's a
don't want to
horrible thing.
die. Like, I mean, not that there's like now it's time to die, but like
You almost never wanna die.
Like
Yeah.
when you're fucking 84 and
You
when
wanna
you
live
die,
a long life. Most people wanna live a long life.
When you're 84 and you die, like usually it's a celebration of life.
Yeah,
When
people
you're
are like,
32,
they live the long life.
When you're
Yeah.
32 and you die, it's
We saw
fucking
it coming.
It's sad.
Yeah, 32, you don't
That's
see it coming.
sad.
It's
like
sad.
that's a sad thing.
Yeah, you had like some left on the table.
something fucking happened, like where you just died.
There's a Stoic principle called memento mori. It's like remember my death or remember my mortality. It's supposed to be something. It's supposed to be a useful tool to like meditate on, or like a thought to meditate on. To like, I'm gonna die one day. I'm not gonna make it here. I'm gonna fucking live my life, and one day I'm not gonna be here. And it's supposed to inspire you to make shit happen while
Right.
I'm still here.
I think it's definitely important to internalize and understand that. I
That you're
think a
gonna
lot of
die.
people run away from it, and perhaps I've even run away from
From
it.
the thought?
From the thought of like dying. It does scare me for sure. Yeah, like it scares me a lot more than fucking getting up in a group of people. Fucking, I can just get up and do this and it's over with. Like I'm not gonna die. Like,
Wow.
you
Well,
know?
so I mean, like, I feel like so there was times even like in college where for some reason, I feel like I went away, like in late high school and the beginning of college, I would do public presentations and fucking like kill it. I would just do very good. It was one of the things that like, I would even get people coming up after me and say like, oh my God, you like seem so excited. Like you talk like you're you're a little kid because you're just so excited about everything that's going on. And like I felt like I was fairly
Cadence.
Yeah. I probably didn't have good cadence, but I actually had good. I wasn't nervous talking to it.
Right.
But at some point, I think it was just like, to be honest, with like too much drug use, and I think throughout college and like just getting drunk all the time, I really moved away from that, and I almost like developed like a bit of an anxiety. And I remember one time specifically in class, we were just doing popcorn reading in some fucking useless class. Like it was like happiness class or something. It was literally like one of the easiest classes ever because it was
Happiness class?
Happiness. It was literally something like that where it was.
Fuck kind of. This is why Arizona's number fucking 59 in fucking education.
But we're number one in innovation. As far as ASU, that's what they say. I don't know.
Borkham Devils.
Let's go. But so I remember like for one, just getting incredibly nervous as it came to me, like before me reading. And then I remember like me reading and having to stand up and doing it. And I swear to God, I like throughout the entire talk, and then like was sweating bullets throughout the entire time. And I know at the very end of it, not anyone
Just
heard
popcorn reading.
heard a single word I said, and the whole time was like, what the fuck is this guy going through just reading this? I remember like
Interesting.
It was such a horrible, like, even just like I remember just sitting down like, I am ready just to go home. I shouldn't even have done that. Yeah.
Popcorn reading always was so fucking difficult for me in class. It's just so goddamn boring.
Yeah.
It's just not a good learning method. I would rather just the teacher be like, hey, everyone sit and read this for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to break up into groups.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
That fucking makes more sense to me. And each group will be just a different question to talk about. That I fucking like way more because then I can talk, I can read at my own pace, I can do my fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just everyone just sitting there like following sentences. I'm like, this is how I fall asleep.
Yeah,
This is literally how I fall asleep.
It's
Like,
not a good way to learn, probably. Not
I
at all.
agree.
There's
It's not
probably
a
a
good
lot
way
of
to
things that we do as far as
Learn.
like a society. What?
Wern. It's not a good way to wern.
Like a word, a word, or
Werner.
shern.
Shh.
I don't know. That was a stretch.
It was a stretch. It was a stretch. That's okay though.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because we have no credentials.
We gotta take risks. No credentials.
Can the camera see the
With
can
this
the
one.
thing? Oh, this one. Oh, I didn't even know that. There it is. Look at that.
Oh baby.
Shout out to whoever made that. Who
Shout
made
out
that?
to the Frantic Foamer.
The Frantic
on Instagram.
Foamer, dude. Fucking dope, dude.
He's the man.
Peep his handle real quick, cause fucking shout
It's-
out his handle, cause dude,
Yeah.
that
Here-
is a fucking sick looking sign, and like
It really is.
That makes me horny a little
Dude,
bit.
my boy it's the absolute man. Like this. I'm sorry. Let me figure out how to lock this back in.
Alcohol, gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah, let me like actually find his handle. It's either the Frantic Foamer or Frantic Foamer. Let's see.
I like foam.
Yeah, the Frantic Foamer on Instagram. My boy made this for me for an extremely reasonable price. He was prompt. He's the man. I actually met him in an Uber. He Ubered me somewhere, and then he
Aren't
had
those the best business relationships?
wow, dude,
Literally
absolutely
the
incredible.
best.
I mean, look at this thing. I think it looks sick.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it looks fucking sick.
love it.
Yeah, the Frantic Foamer. You can look him up on Instagram.
Yeah.
My boy, he's the man. He's got like he'll do like basically anything. Yeah, and he's got like this whole system. He was very prompt. He delivered like a week earlier than I thought he was gonna deliver, and it was awesome.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like who you meet through.
Good plug. Good plug. Yeah. Can I
All
please
right.
get a refill?
Yes, sir.
I'm also going to prompt you with something I thought about on the way here. And I don't know why this like popped into my head. It happened like 2.5 years ago. And I was out on Mill. Or no, is in Old Town with, I don't know, a couple buddies like Salas and fucking Timmy and shit. But like, this guy, this like 45-year-old guy is like looking at me. And I was like, oh, he wants to talk. I was like, oh. When I was like, oh, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? He's like talking to me, whatever. And, you know, and he keeps telling me, he's like, oh, yeah, no, it's true. I went to ASU. I was like, oh, I went to ASU too, bro. I was like, I was an economics major. She's like, oh, I was an economics major, bro.
Wow.
I was like, oh,
Okay.
cool. I was like, we're vibing a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, where do you work and stuff? And then he goes, he keeps peppering in this little term. I'm a girl dad.
Okay.
I'm a girl dad. I'm a girl dad. I was like, okay, so you're, and then I kind of circled back. I was like, so like, you're a dad to 2 girls? And he was like, yeah. I'm a girl dad. And that's at the moment I realized he wanted to fuck me. That's when I realized. And this is
So later we're fucking.
I knew you'd take it there. But here, the point is not that like what happened that night, okay? He definitely wanted to bang.
Hey, cheers.
But cheers. What I really started what I really was just kind of a thought meandering around was like, imagine your dad, you bring him around your boys.
And he tries to fuck your
He's
boys.
trying to fuck your boys.
Wow. Huh.
Like, is that different than him trying to fuck like girls that are friends? Like, you're not fucking, but like
Yeah.
you bring girls around and you bring like guys around. They're like all friends and stuff, and like
Yeah.
your dad's trying to fuck your dude friends.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
But like, why? Why is
Right,
that?
'cause-
Is it just because like, is it more crazy than them fucking your girlfriends? Or
So-
like if your mom, like, I mean, this probably hits more home better for us. I don't know. Like maybe I'll speak for myself, but like I have more time with my mom being around my friends. But if like my mom hooked up with one of my guy friends, I'd be like pretty pissed.
Would you be more pissed at your mom or at your guy friends?
See, this is what opened up this whole thing, right? When it keep playing in my head, like I'm a girl dad.
Yeah.
What are you fucking trying to tell me, bro?
Yeah.
Like that you prey on your girls, your daughters, like
Friends?
like friends, like their young friend, like
But not even her friends, her boyfriends.
her male friends, yeah.
wow,
And does like I'm just curious, like how that makes them feel. Like obviously it's different because we're men,
Yeah.
right? And like
That's a thing. There's a power dynamic that like you can maybe
With
hit on a
sex, I
guy
agree.
more. Yeah. Which like there's always like I think that's why girls almost have to be like quote unquote bitchy or like very defensive and like when they're at a club and like
Selective.
constant
Let's
guys
call
are
it.
well no like legit like mean towards in the reaction of it because there's always the risk
I don't
of
know
violence.
about that. Don't be mean to me.
Well, I mean like I'm not saying have
There
to.
is that what you just said is very real.
There's the risk of
statistically.
violence.
There is a threat of violence that
Because
is
like guys
not
will
with
say
men.
will be said no to and then
Yeah.
like they're like oh well fuck you you're ugly anyway and get
yeah.
aggressive
right?
you
of
know
course.
so girls
and we can also hurt them.
yeah
like they cannot
exactly.
hurt us the way that
well
we can
and
hurt
then
them.
also too like what's weird is like a
Generally
girl
speaking.
yeah generally speaking
Yeah.
well also too like a girl can be like no thanks haha you're so funny but I'm not interested and a guy will be like I'm so funny well this
Yeah,
girl loves me like just completely
have feet
ignore
fans?
everything from
Do you have feet fans? Can I
Feet
smell your
finder?
poo?
yeah. So I think that's always.
So I don't like the foot selling thing, man.
You know what? On my very first night, so I was a security guard at a bar on Mill Avenue. It was like one of my first jobs, like in college. Yeah, it was. I was a security guard at. What
I
the
was
fuck was
gonna
it
just
called?
ask which bar, because things have changed quite a bit, and it sounds like this was a long time ago.
It was when I was like 19. I was not young enough to go into it, but
So
it was-
1944.
no, it was. I can't
a
believe I
bad
can't think
joke.
of the name of it. It's the one with like all the sugary drinks that's like on tap.
Oh, that is
Fat Tuesdays.
Fat Tuesdays.
Fat
yeah,
Tuesdays, yeah, I was,
used to sing karaoke there.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had karaoke. Yeah.
Goddamn right they
on
did.
certain nights. So my very
It's
first night,
still there, by the way.
Fat Tuesdays is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll go there. It's like still the same owners.
It's
I'll
pretty
talk
chill.
to them.
Yeah,
and like
they got
yeah.
skee ball and stuff,
yeah.
and little games.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I was a security guard there, like one of my very first jobs. And my very first night there, I was leaving, and some guy in a fucking like old Ford Ranger drove next to me. He's like, "Hey." I looked over. I was like, "What's up?" He's like, $100 for a blowjob. I was like, "Dude, get the fuck out of my face." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." And then
Wait. Do you give the blowjob? he's trying to blow you.
So he came back and I was like, "Do I give the blowjob?" No.
Just want to clear things up here.
I'm so we started off on the wrong foot.
You
No,
started
I was
things
like,
off
dude,
on the
get
right
the
head.
fuck out of here. And I started walking away. And then he's like, "Dude, I'm sorry. You know what? Just take it anyway. Take the $100 anyways." And I look at him. He like sticks the $100 out the window, and I was like, "Fuck you." I grabbed it. I took it. I was like, "Okay, well, this is cool." I mean, I probably made like $60 at work, and then $100 for that. And I was like, "Okay." So I just went home. And that was it.
That was your entire embodiment being sexualized. Wow. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. That guy wanted to fuck you so bad, he just wanted to give you money.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that
Like,
weird? Well, you know what I was thinking
It's
about?
not weird.
You know what I was thinking about
really
after?
not weird because we have entire industries based around this shit.
Yeah, about like wanting.
yeah.
Guys are so horny that they'll pay money to do stuff.
Usually the guys, too.
Yeah, it's always the guys. Yeah.
I'm not going to say always.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I don't really know the statistics
Yes,
on that, on the
Statistics.
Worcestershire about that. But I would agree that I think the majority of the market, I mean, that's not something that goes without said. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely usually
Mostly men,
But it's
yeah.
not, I'm not going to discount women because they are definitely also paying for shit. too.
Probably, but at a
not
much
in like
less-
the sex industry level, but I think in the porn level and like OnlyFans and stuff like
Paying
that.
for
I think,
stuff as far as the customer side.
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
I think there are
some,
women
for
who
sure.
like subscribe to OnlyFans
Oh,
more
I'm
than there
sure.
are women trying to pay for like sex on the street.
Oh, maybe that too.
You know what I mean?
I'd
Like,
say
I
like
think
probably
it's
the
a bigger-
distribution is maybe similar though. Like vast majority men, a
Yeah.
percentage are women.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I gotta pee so fucking bad.
I
You
have
want
to
to take a
pee,
quick
too.
break?
Yeah, let's take a quick
all right.
break.
Let's take a
Yeah.
quick break.
It's great. It's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. You want to take another shot?
Yeah. You want a little shot, kitty? You want to go down? You want to go down? You want to stay up here? She can stay up here. What's her name again?
Gigi.
Gigi. Hey, Gigi, baby. What you doing? Oh, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Thank you, Gigi, for being an official sponsor of the podcast. This is actually maybe the only actual sponsors of the podcast.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
This tiny little kitty.
She supports the company by giving hugs and loves and kisses.
Loves and kisses
Mm-hmm.
and checks in the amount of $5,000 each. That's the base sponsors, all right?
Yeah.
Nothing less.
That's right. Gigi, would you like to say anything to the crowd?
Gigi, would you like to would you like to say anything to the people?
Gigi.
Gigi.
She's not a crowd person.
There you go, Gigi.
Meow.
Speak your mind.
Meow. I think the whole world should be ran on catnip.
She's gone camera shy.
She's gone country.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be a cat guy. Now I'm a cat guy.
You know, I think I'm capable of being a cat guy, except for one time. I think I've told you about the story, but Tucker got out. So there was
Oh, and murdered a cat?
dude.
No.
He definitely murdered.
Murdered one?
I didn't like
Verify?
see the aftermath, but
May have.
he got a hold of it and
Wow. Oh, no.
and like this thing was flipping around like crazy.
Poor. Hey,
I did feel bad, and it definitely wasn't someone. I used to live around a place that there was a lot of stray cats. Arizona in general is a place where there's a lot of stray cats.
wow.
You know that.
Gigi
Like,
actually might be like the kid of a stray cat. So Taylor got her
son
from
of a son of a bitch.
Taylor got her from this gal on like Craigslist that was selling cats, and she picked her up and she's like, "Hey, the mom either was killed or abandoned the kittens." And because Gigi and all of her kittens were incredibly malnourished. Like she got her and she was like a half a pound.
Yeah, she's tiny.
Right now she's like 3.5 pounds.
Yeah.
She was literally a half a pound. You could feel her shoulder bones, her hip bones were out. Her tail was pure like a fucking spine.
Yeah.
You could just feel every single vertebrae. And now it's this like thick, nice tail. She's a chubby little kitty. She's been eating good. We literally thought she was blind when she first got her. Like,
What are you
hey,
doing?
no bite. We literally thought she was blind because we would like she'd be like hanging out near the bed or something, and then Taylor would come out of the bathroom and Gigi would like sprint right past her, and we're like, "Fuck, is she blind?" But she was just so incredibly malnourished.
Yeah.
Like she was just not behaving like a normal cat. But we've been feeding her, and we actually had to juice her up for like the first week because we took her to there was this one day where I think it was like the first time leaving her alone, and she was alone like 6 hours or 8 hours or something. And we come home and she just Taylor came home and she had just like shit all over the place, just blew it up everywhere. Was just like not feeling good. You could tell she was like
Yeah.
acting weird. Like Taylor fed her and she like attacked the bowl, and we're like, okay, what the fuck? So we took her to the emergency place, and they're like, yeah, well, she's just very malnourished. Like you need to give her her like fluids, and so we gave her like fluids for like a week, and we gave her like fluids for like a week. Hey, baby girl, she's just a little cutie pie, and then she she like recovered, but
No bite.
yeah, she's a good little kitty. Like I said, she fell off the fucking ledge last week. Hey, no bite. She fell off the ledge.
Like that ledge.
That ledge. I was actually chilling.
We can't get the cameras on it, but that's like,
I mean, it's not a short fall.
it's like 10 feet maybe,
Oh, more than that. Probably like
12 feet maybe?
from bottom to top. How much you think that's? Maybe 30 feet.
No, I don't think 30.
You don't think so?
No, I think probably. Well, they would say it usually 10 feet is
Per floor.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think there's 10-foot
I almost
ceilings
said
down
an
there.
acre. Alcohol's working. Yeah, which maybe some buffer in between.
It's a
and
good-
then it's halfway up. I would say.
At least 15 feet she fell.
Okay, let's call it 15.
15
I'm,
to
I'm
20.
proud. I'm proud about that.
15
number.
to 20.
Yeah.
It's probably minimum 15.
Well, you know what they say about cats?
What?
I don't fucking know. I've never had a cat, dude. I've never been a cat guy. But hey, but don't drink the alcohol.
TD.
You cute little thing. That's for Papa.
She just up here exploring.
Yeah. What the fuck did you just do with that? That's insanity. It would be cool if we could get Bullet to sponsor us to drink alcohol. and talk.
Bullet is an official sponsor of the podcast.
Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you about.
What?
I forgot. I wanted to ask you about this.
Hit me.
And I know people are really divided about this because we're fight fans. Mm-hmm. Jake Paul. I know that's an
What about
interesting
him?
noise. He's either got to enter professional boxing or professional mixed martial arts. In my opinion, he should be a professional boxer.
You know-
this whole fighting washed up people and fucking doing all this crap
Hey.
now is getting fucking ridiculous to me.
Well, it depends on what his goal is. If his goal is to be an elite fighter, then that's it. That should be what he does. If his goal is to make a shit ton of money in the easiest way possible,
Joey, the shtick is that he can beat all these people.
Well-
but the shtick's running out.
well,
It's running out, bro. Because like people are like, okay, yeah, you can beat all these fucking washed up
As
people
soon as he
who've
gets-
never been boxers. He still has not, at one time, boxed a legitimate
an actual
retired boxer.
An actual boxer.
An actual boxer.
Yeah, a retired or active boxer.
What do you think
has not
happened? What
retired.
happened if he went with Floyd?
Yeah.
Well, actually, his
His brother went with Floyd. I mean, that's pretty
it's
incredible
also
in and of
a
itself.
50-pound fucking weight difference, bro.
I mean, even so, honestly, that's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. I agree.
It also, like, who knows what exactly was the goal of each party. There looks like, if you look at even that fight, it
That's
looks
why I
like,
like MMA so much.
well, it looks like Floyd dropped Logan in like one of the later rounds and then kept him up.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that was
So
like,
this is what I was kind of alluring to, is that like the reason why I like mixed martial arts so much as opposed to pillow fighting, I mean boxing. I'm just joking. I like boxing ish.
I do like boxing.
I like boxing. I like boxing. I think there's 4 or 5 other sports that are more entertaining, but like I like boxing.
It's
I think
not the most
cool.
entertaining. I mean,
No,
that's one of the
it's really
things that's
not.
like one of the
Yeah.
big.
I have
like-
mad respect for the boxers. I have mad respect for the sport.
and there's
all
been
this
some
stuff.
incredible fights.
But
Like there's
to
been
me-
some
yeah.
incredible, like
to me,
bouts.
it's not in my top 5 of like sports I'd watch.
If I'm just watching casuals, like it's
Yeah.
especially usually not the most exciting.
I'd rather watch the Final Four. I'd rather watch fucking, I'd rather watch NCAA football. I'd rather watch the NFL. I'd rather watch definitely the UFC and mixed martial arts. But anyway, so much. It's okay. When this happens the most in one of my most controversial sports to talk about, which is soccer.
Okay.
Or football.
Americano.
Yeah, no, not Americano. Football.
Football Americano.
No,
Oh, not football.
Not Americano. No Americano.
Not Americano.
No Americano.
Yeah, just football.
So this thing right here that they always do. Oh, what? This is the whole. This is the whole game. Oh, what? That's the whole fucking game.
Yeah, okay.
That's the whole fucking game. You're either going, oh no, or you're going, what? Right? Do you know what happens in MMA? Neither of those things.
Oh, huh.
Neither of those things.
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking.
No No flopping.
There's no flags. There's no fucking penalty. I mean, there is like poke people in the eye and all that stuff, and it's small, but it's super nuanced. Like it's not like something that happens all the time, right? But like when somebody gets beaten in MMA, almost always rarely is there controversial decisions.
Especially
rarely.
Well, decisions are one of those things that are a little bit more controversial.
For sure.
If there's a submission or a knockout, it's like that. There's really no more definitive than that, you know?
And then I look at football, which is my second favorite sport, right? The NFL and NCAA football, right?
Yeah.
You know what they do?
What?
They go like this. Oh, what? Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
Because they're either pissed off about a penalty and they're pissed off at the refs, or they're like, how could this happen? How could this happen? There's no like definitive like winning of the sport unless you like completely demolish a team. Which like when there's fucking good games, that doesn't really happen, right? But then it comes down to like a play and then the ref makes a decision. That's what's really drawn me out of those sports. Is like I don't care to like that's fucking depressing.
That's one thing that's not ideal about like the sport.
It's not. It's really not.
Yeah,
like
especially then, especially wasn't there like a ref strike like fairly recently, like a couple years ago, and there was like
the NFL
a number. Yeah, it wasn't there like a number of games that like were decided by a ref's decision that should have went the other way.
It could be argued statistically if you actually took regressions into account that every single game in the NFL is determined by
a ref.
Yeah. More so in basketball.
Yeah,
basketball
I've heard that with basketball.
Basketball is by far the biggest one. There are gambling, let's call them aficionados, who
degenerates
follow. Yeah. Well, hey man, if you can make six figures,
if you can make money gambling, that's sick.
You can make six figures fucking gambling, bro.
Good for you.
Good on you, brother. Good luck. Good luck with that ticker
in
Vegas,
on you, brother. That's one of the sickest professions, I gotta say, to be able to just like gamble. I mean, if you can pull it off.
It's kind of sad.
Dude, if you can pull it off,
just
it's one of
the
the most.
Bar and just fucking wait for your heart to stop.
Listen, I'm not saying like the degenerates. I'm not saying the 99% that don't make money doing it. I'm saying the 1% of 1% that make 100 mil.
Yeah,
you know, are worth 100 mil.
Phil
Mickelson.
Phil something. He was a fucking
poker guy.
It's like a light skinned black dude that would bring like poker guy. He would bring like his own dealer and all this stuff, and he would like he wouldn't count cards because it's easy for them to figure out counting cards.
Yeah,
he would do this thing called edge sorting, and it's like a part of a malfunction in the card or something.
Ooh, so anytime you see a card that's a little bit fucked
a little
up,
bit weird, a little like tiny,
you recognize
thing.
it.
And so like he's autistic, right? Like we can all accept that for a sec, right? Because like he has this insane attention.
You're
to
like four of spades right here.
Yeah,
has
he's
this
like,
one
the four
like
of spades has a little fucking thing like that. Like that's like this fucking bit. Like how do you fucking know that?
Yeah.
You know? And then he would win like millions and millions of dollars from these places.
Pretty incredible,
dude. Millions of dollars, and then they would just kick him out because they're like, "Dude, we can't have you." We would love to have you back. We'd love to have you back in the resort, but you are not allowed to gamble. You're not allowed to play here.
Wow,
yeah. I mean, it was like 7 different places. It happened.
I wish
he would take him for like 20 mil.
Wow, that's sick.
$20 million.
That's sick. See, that's what I'm saying. Like that's a sick way to live. You know, that's pretty incredible.
It's happened to.
Dana White.
Dana White.
Yeah, Dana White got kicked out from like a few different casinos for winning too much.
The Win or something like that.
I forget which ones, but he got pulled from some of them, and he's like, okay, guess what? We're pulling all UFC affiliations from you.
That's tough. I'd like to see him try to do that with MGM though.
I bet you MGM hasn't tried that with him. I bet you he's made money with
now.
Yeah. I mean the thing is like maybe he'll go
he can
and
fucking
like
fill anywhere he wants now.
It's pretty incredible that someone can just go and make that much money gambling. It's still gambling, and it's still favored heavily in the house's favorite. And if you can make that much money, good on fucking you.
Yeah,
that's
agree.
pretty sick.
I
now
agree.
they're a private company, and they can say like, yeah, you're too good. We won't work with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you can do it, that's sick. And also too, if you're Dana White and you bring in day events that make the venue $50 million. Dude, let him win 20 on
Yeah.
another day. You
Yeah.
know, it's got to
20?
be whatever it is.
It was like a few $1 million. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure when I saw. I think
yeah.
one of the most ones he won, like, because obviously
Probably,
walking
I think so.
walking out of a casino with
Walking
$2
out with
million,
$1 million, dude, that's insane.
You need an escort all the way back to
walking
your
out with
hotel.
$100,000 in
all
a
the way-
day, $100,000 in a single day. I mean, that's incredible.
I thought it was a king, bro. I put $25 on a number in Vegas, whatever fucking
Yeah,
38 times that or something like that.
we're talking about roulette.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought I was a king.
you put $25 on a number.
$25 on a number
It's
and
like
I hit it.
30 to 1, right?
38 or something like that to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won like, I don't know, like $3 grand or something.
That's sick.
It was fucking
Off
dope.
$25?
Oh, it
That's
was fucking
sick.
sick.
Yeah.
Took the boys out that night. Fucking just fucking, it was gone in the morning. I didn't gamble
Exactly.
anymore.
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
still spent it all in Vegas.
Yeah.
But I remember grabbing all the money and being like, I'm gonna spend this all tonight.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I'm gonna spend all of this tonight. This is not going to my bank account. I
That's
don't care
good.
about that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's good to like do
and I'm an
things
asshole.
like
So if you do that, don't do that.
it is good
I've had
to
a couple
like,
big wins though.
a couple big wins.
Yeah, recently I had a big win.
I know. I think you told me about
Yeah.
that horse betting, right?
Yeah, dude, ponies,
That's pretty
man.
sick. Wow.
I'm telling you, the trifecta.
Sorry.
Did a trifecta? That's okay. He's got
You want some Wawa?
I'll take a Wawa. Does that get you drunk?
It doesn't get you drunk, but would you like sparkling or still?
Oh my God, am I gonna get a blowjob after this?
will
No,
get a blowjob after this.
sparkling, sparkling. I'm a girl dad. Oh, some LDs?
Yes, sir.
Wow, Steve would be proud.
I know.
And the tall boys. Wow,
I'd like to
wonderful.
thank official sponsor of the No Credentials podcast,
Yeah.
Liquid Death.
Eventually, we could get Steve up
I don't
here.
know if you're
I think
supposed
we
to shake
could.
it.
Oh well, I just mixed it.
I don't know if you're supposed to mix it. Just water. Cheers, bud.
Well, I mixed it and nothing happened.
Good work. I was thinking there was a chance it fucking foams up.
Not a chance.
Nice.
We've done a lot.
Sorry about that.
We've done a lot in our time.
You mean as humans or in the past hour?
Well, as humans, as human friends,
Yeah,
as alien friends.
Yeah, I know. We kind of are just aliens.
I think we are aliens. I do not think that our genetic material is from this planet.
Oh, is that what you think? What do you think, like the Anunnakis?
I feel like I know.
What do you think? What do you think, like we're the Anunnakis or?
Like if you look at the human species and you compare it to every other species on this planet, and you don't think we're different,
We are different.
we are very different. We are very, very, very different. We are special. I think we have a creator. I think that there was something that helped our evolution. I think there is something that perhaps even planted our evolution, or not planted our evolution, but planted our existence. And I think that it's foolish to just look at evolution.
So what do you think that thing is? That
Oh man, isn't that the $1 million question, right? Like, I think that there's things to be learned from the creationist theories of everything that we've learned from Noah's Ark to Gilgamesh and all of the ancient stories. But then there's
saying
also
like Christianity, Catholicism.
and way more into that. You know, the native understanding. Yeah, everything. The big three.
Traditional religions.
Even
Buddhism.
more into that, right? Because almost every dude, like we look at Noah's Ark and we're like, oh, there was a mass flood. Well, dude, like there's been a mass flood around that time in like thousands, Joey, like thousands of texts, literally thousands. So we know that happened. Like we fucking know that happened, right? And so like, why are there so many people saying like there were like chosen ones selected to like live at that time? Was it like maybe just a socioeconomic thing at the time? Was it like people who just had like enough money or power to be able to like do it? Or was it like something grand, like maybe even crazier than that, you know? Like was it like our creators? choosing us to be like, you guys are fucking going on the wrong path here. Like we're gonna.
So what is the story of like Noah's Ark? Because like I know like he had like two animals that were to repopulate the animals. How about for like the humans? Were there two humans that repopulated the earth?
Negative. The whole point was actually to wipe out the human race.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
how did they repopulate with two humans or more than two?
Isn't that a funny question?
Well, like, is that the story of Noah's Ark?
So, not a theologian.
Theologist.
Theologian. I believe is the
Theologian?
right.
Yeah, I think that
theologian.
is the
I'm
right-
not a theologian.
Yeah.
But if I can remember the story correctly, it's that God took Noah into a place and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna flood the world. You guys suck dick. I'm also gonna give you the ability to
Control Alt Delete.
put all you literally control. He's like, you guys fucking suck so much ass. I'm gonna flood the entire planet, and I'm also gonna give you the ability to build the ship, and the ship is gonna be able to house. In my opinion, I think that Noah's Ark actually did happen, and I don't think it looked like what we think it looked like. I don't think they housed actual animals there. I think they housed DNA, which makes much more sense.
What about humans though? Was it supposed to be two humans or? I'm
Humans
not
are
sure.
gonna-
I'm not familiar with the story.
Humans
Is
are
it-
gonna. Yeah. That's actually interesting that you bring that up. I
it
don't
two
really
humans?
actually know.
Because I feel like
I don't
Adam and
remember.
Eve
I don't
were, like,
remember. I
supposed
don't
to be
remember
the-
anything being about like Noah and his bitch. You
Yeah,
know?
right.
Like I
Isn't
don't
that
remember any
interesting?
of that. Like yeah.
I don't. I don't. Also don't remember
Interesting.
that. Yeah,
so it was just Noah just fucking going around fucking all these animals. Like
it's like didn't it start with Adam and Eve and like wasn't like the original two Adam and Eve and
like
then
you just Uncle Joe filmed me up, dude. What a G.
I got you.
Let's get
bud.
that on camera.
Cheers. So like Adam and Eve are supposed to be like the first incestuous mother and father of the entire population. So are incestuous because how did their kids not be incestuous? But what about Noah's Ark? Are they just restarting that? Was that the thing, or was there like multiple humans?
There had to have been. I mean, obviously, you know. I mean, there also could be an understanding.
Well,
that
you're
maybe
saying it
that
had to have been because of
maybe God was just telling Noah that this is going to be the last of humanity when he knew other pieces of humanity were going to make it through.
Yeah.
You know, like he knew like people higher up were not going to be able to fucking
Yeah.
You know, not talking higher up socioeconomically, but like literally elevation, like higher
up.
Like yeah, like and this 10,000 years ago, our fucking oceans increased by whatever fucking X amount. Jamie fucking can tell us.
Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, Jamie can fucking
Jamie.
tell. Yeah, Jamie can tell us whatever. But like
Alexa. I don't have an Alexa either.
but it was definitely a significant amount. It was definitely an amount where people people died from it. Like you
So
look
I
at
think there's been a few like global events that have wiped out most of living
90%
life.
of humans live within what is it 100 miles of the coast.
But don't you think that if it was just two of everything, like for one, how big of a boat can it be?
What if you can't get them to breathe? Well, exactly. That's my point.
And
is
also
that
too, if just
it
two
doesn't
normal
make
humans,
sense.
how
Dude,
you wrangle in two lions?
It's DNA. They gave them DNA.
They didn't even know about DNA then.
The ones up there, bro.
Oh yeah. See, to me, I think that like I was actually talking to D-Rock earlier today about this like same thing. I think that like the Bible has a lot of truth in it. I think a lot of like more religious texts have like a ton of truth. I think that
I agree.
there's so much knowledge. Like there's
Yeah.
so much. There's a lot of stuff in a lot of the religions that are like expressed throughout their religious writings. But I think that if you take a lot of it literally, it's not necessarily how it should be taken. And I think that's almost humans' misinterpretation of it. So, like the example that I use, and I talked about it earlier today, but I'll say it again, is that like the story of Job. Like, are you familiar like with the story of Job?
Talk to me about Job.
So Job was like a God-loving guy. He was like a person that, you know, was an extremely devout whatever their religion is supposed to be. They use extremely doubt to Jesus and God. And he's a person that was God-loving, did everything as a good religious person should. And God and the devil one day were having a conversation back and forth, and God was like, well, Job's my boy, like Job's doing it great. And the devil was like, yo, well, that's only because Job's life is good. If Job's life wasn't good, he wouldn't love you. He wouldn't fucking devote his life to God.
Okay, I think
he would be,
remember this.
He'd be a piece of shit if his life wasn't going good. It's only because his life is going good. And
so let's throw
and
some haymakers.
Hold
at
on.
him.
Yeah, exactly. God was like, oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's throw some haymakers.
Well, let's cut his dick off. Let's see how he fucking likes that now.
Basically. So God in his apparently insecure self was like, okay, well, guess what? Let me kill his wife. Let me kill his children. Let me kill his entire family. Let me take him from his job. Let me strip him from everything that has made him happy and see how he likes me then.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Let me finish first.
Okay.
So he strips him from everything. Kids, dead. Wife, dead. Job, lost. Life, horrible. And Job still loves God. Job is like, you know what? Even though no matter what's happening, I still love God. I'm doing the best I can. I still love and I have respect and admire the highest good. And if you take that in like a literal sense, it's like, what the fuck? If God is all knowing, why did he have to kill his wife and kids? He killed a real wife and a real kid and a real kids just to prove a point to the devil. I thought he was omniscient. I thought he knew all these things. If you take it from a very literal sense, it doesn't make any sense at all. If you take it from just like a moral truth standpoint, it's like, yo, Job, no matter how bad things get in your life, you should always have respect for the highest good, and not even respect, have admiration and strive for the highest good, and not think that the world is evil, the world is horrible. No matter how bad things get, you should always strive for the best and always strive for the better. And so even though this story to me seems, if you take it for a literal truth, it seems crazy.
Right.
It has a really deep moral truth that is, no matter how bad things get, you should always keep the highest good close to your heart and not think that it's the universe's fault, or not turn on God, the universe, no matter how bad things get.
Things that make you go Joey.
Yes.
I would curse God in the sky if he did all those things to me.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. I don't want to imagine. I don't want to put that type of dark energy into my life.
Imagine if you had
that's
kids.
Fucking insane.
Well, also
even if I
too,
just have what I have right now, if you took my girlfriend and killed her, and you took my life and
just to prove a point,
just to prove a point,
yeah.
which I don't think is something that God does.
Yeah, it doesn't prove points.
It doesn't. Yeah,
that's the thing. He's omniscient,
do that, or it whatever ish
is omniscient.
I don't think God. I'm pseudo Christian. I believe in certain things about the Bible, but I also deter in a lot of things. I think that God is the things that reoccur in our universe that are things that we can calculate that are always the same. I believe in
love.
Well,
I don't know. I was trying to offer a suggestion.
Oh, that's beautiful. I was gonna say physics.
I was gonna say anal sex.
Like physics laws and stuff like that. Laws of thermodynamics and stuff like that. Energy's not created nor destroyed. Why? But why? Why is all that? Because of the laws of the universe, because of God. Because God created those things.
Okay.
There would be no other way that we understood things because of that. Being able to see with light. Why? If the light's shut off, do we react differently?
It's kind of like that.
It's of course they do, right? Because we need the thing what is it? The fucking second day God gave us light.
Yeah,
it's really important, right?
Yeah.
That's something in the Bible that
wasn't it the first day?
I don't know. Let there be light.
Well, like he like the
forget.
first day there was word that like spoke God.
Again, not a proclaimed
Theologist. Theologian.
Even Christian, really, like pseudo Christian, very pseudo Christian. I grew up going to church, like Christian church, but I never studied the Bible or any of that stuff. Like it's.
I think there's a lot of good shit in there.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of really good shit in there.
Speaking of good shit, I have to pee.
I gotta pee again. Too.
You gotta pee. Because we can edit all this.
Yeah.
We can fucking edit
Just
whatever we want.
Right back to it.
Yeah. Vinny Catheter Company.
Want to be the official sponsor?
No catheters.
No catheters. Oh,
No
wait, that's not
No,
it.
we need catheters.
Yes,
We need
catheters.
them. Yeah. I actually do have friends that sell medical grade women's catheters. And they make a lot of money, whatever. Medical sales is super fucking weird and interesting, honestly. You have these fucking super unqualified people going into hospitals convincing PhDs that have been practicing medicine for years and years and years on what products to use.
That is interesting.
That's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like,
have you seen Dope Sick? Oh, dude, it's crazy. It's all about Purdue Pharma, and Purdue Pharma was a privately owned company that was the inventors of OxyContin, and
they did well.
yeah, they did well financially. They did
No shit.
They did evil things upon humanity.
We're still fucking. I mean, dude, look at what's the fucking shit?
The opioid epidemic.
What's the fucking thing? Fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yeah.
It's fucking same shit that's happening now, dude.
I mean,
like,
yeah. So, I mean, OxyContin was basically like a legal version of fentanyl. I guess not as potent. Like,
I mean, fentanyl's legal.
oh, it is, yeah. Well,
You can go and get fucking fentanyl from the store.
no. I think you can.
If you're dying from cancer and shit, yeah, you can go get fucking fentanyl.
I got fentanyl actually last time when I went
You
to
got
the
fentanyl
hospital.
when you went to the hospital.
Yeah,
you can
like,
get it, Joe.
They're like, they gave me fentanyl. I was like, well, I've heard negative
Yeah.
things about that. they're like, well,
They're
this
like-
is a little different.
It's okay. We'll inject it straight into your blood.
Yeah, all right.
And then
basically.
we'll monitor you.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
okay. I mean, okay. If you're gonna twist my arm.
Yeah, I had it. I mean, that's pretty crazy too. But so like Purdue Pharma was a privately owned pharmaceutical company, the Sackler family, which was this billionaire family that started Purdue Pharma. Were the inventors of OxyContin, and they would do exactly that, like you said, like have all these sales reps go up to doctors and medical professionals and all these things, sell them on OxyContin, and what happened was initially, like upon the advent of OxyContin, they hired this guy that worked for the FDA to give it a special label that was a label that the FDA never granted on anything else. It was a label that said that this class 2 drug was less addictive than all other opiates.
Oh,
so
boy.
even though it was a class 2 opiate, it's less addictive than all other class 2 opiates.
Which I think we, in hindsight now, can agree that's
Was
probably
not the case.
not true.
Yeah, it was not true.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing. So this FDA guy put this label on this thing. 2 years later, guess who he's working for? Purdue Pharma.
Oh boy.
So it was one of those situations, I'm sure, that was like, hey, $10 million, put this label on, and guess what? In 2 years, we'll give you a $2 million a year salary. All you have to work is 7 hours a year, and your life is good. So,
Fucking
I mean, people are easily corruptible, especially with money.
Yes,
and
they
so
are.
this happened, and they put this special label on it that said that OxyContin is less addictive than all other drugs. And then at the same time that this happened, Purdue Pharma created all these shell companies that were pain preventative companies, or pain, freedom companies that were, the Pain-Free America and Pain-Free all of this. And all they would do is just go all over a town or all over the United States and make these speeches about how pain is something that we should really address seriously. And it's something that they actually made it the fifth.
Something in the same way that we're doing with mental health to be able to start pushing mental health drugs perhaps now.
Maybe. Yeah. Although mental health is maybe not as easily monitorable. Like one thing that they did was like like they made pain the fifth vital sign. So just like they measure
What's your pain level?
blood pressure and heart rate. You know, if you go to the hospital, they ask you, what's your pain on a scale from 1 to 10? And there's this little sign that has a negative face and like a smiley face, a frowny face and a smiley face.
There's some ow, you little shit.
Gigi, what are you doing?
Legalities with that. Stop, Gigi.
Well, so that was the whole pain-free America. Hey, you crazy girl.
Fucking cats.
That was Purdue Pharma who created that. The reason that that's in hospitals, the whole like what's your pain level is because of Purdue Pharma.
Fucking legal bullshit. I knew it.
It's literally because of Purdue Pharma.
Wow.
And so they created this whole pain-free movement as they're all pushing this like new drug that's supposed
This is why I don't go to the hospital, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like, if anyone's never seen it, like, watch Dope Sick. It's fucking nuts. I'm honestly only a couple episodes into it. And I'm like, bruh. It's crazy.
Yeah, not good. You know, there's not money in curing people. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
You know, you as a pharmaceutical company or really any medical company or medical device company, you don't, well, maybe let's exclude medical devices, but especially with pharmaceuticals, there's no money in your customer
Stop going to you.
buying once and never fucking like look at cars now, right? Like, I know this is an interesting correlation, but I think it's very valid like a legitimate correlation. Like, cars now at 300K, they die.
300,000 miles.
They literally die. Like, they are engineers.
If they can get to 300, that's great.
If they can get there, if they can get there, and you have to do a lot of major improvements on the way, but like usually around 3, like they're fucking dead.
No cars.
Dude, there's cars like from the 50s that can go millions of miles.
Yeah,
literally millions of miles.
Yeah, some of those Dodge diesels will like make $1 million like regularly.
Dude, seriously, yeah, right. And like, but these auto companies now like realize like, there's not money in that, you know? Where
money's in the turnover.
I think it's not necessarily what they want to change in the way that we consume. It's the way that we want to look at our vehicle. Let me give you an example. Japanese auto manufacturers, they are super big on giving cheap products so that when something breaks down, you can easily replace it. They want their products to be able to be cheap. Bought in the auto market so that you can fucking buy it and you can like replace it, right? Which I think is such a fucking greater model. Like, we should empower the American or any consumer to be able to buy something that you think that, like, especially when you, dude, like, cars now are fucking ridiculous. Cars are fucking 50 grand, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, like, the cheapest fucking dinghole fucking, you know, I'll drive a Honda Civic, dude. Motherfucker's 35 grand.
25 at least.
Yeah,
that
like,
is pretty crazy.
Decking out 35 fucking $1,000,
My
bro.
first vehicle was $1,000.
Dude, up until my Kia, I never spent over $500 on a fucking car.
Wow.
I'm only 32.
That's pretty great. Yeah.
Bro, like that shit.
I mean, you had to buy
dead.
beaters, but like my.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
But I also knew how to work on cars and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I
exactly.
knew how to, like, you know,
like my dad bought vehicles for like $100, couple $100.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
And you got to find them too. But like, you
Like,
know,
even
like,
$1,000 is pretty crazy. Like, I bought one that was 11 years older than me. That's my first vehicle.
It's the throwaway economy that's just not good sustainably for, one, our planet, but two, for our economy in general.
Just like replace rather than like make something that's lasting.
Maybe it is better for our economy. I don't know. Like, but maybe it might be better for. I'd have to do a regression on like actually like seeing like that company and like in comparison with like the entire like global.
Also,
supply
there's
chain.
some people that like buy something even if it's long lasting and they don't keep it past 50,000 miles. That's something that's a part of.
There's
ecosystem.
a book. Fuck, I forget what the fuck it's called, but it's like lease it, buy it, or use it, or something like that. But no, I forget. But there's
Look
like
it up on Amazon.
There's a fucking whatever.
Official sponsor of the pod.
There's a guy who actually took economic models and like defined whether you should lease a car, because everyone always goes, oh, you should just buy new, or you should always, you know, those people, these are the most like prevalent people. You should always buy used. That's what you hear the most. You should always buy used, right? Well, there's a guy who took that probably and got sick of it and was like, no, there's actually an economic model behind this. Like there is a way for you to lease and make the best decision. There's a way for you to buy used and make the best decision. And there's a way for you to buy new and make the best decision.
Probably all depends like how much you drive.
There's a bunch of different ways. It's how much you drive. It's what your utility use is out of the vehicle. Obviously, what your income and how much you're willing to spend on the vehicle. A bunch of things. What your you commute, income, utility. I think those are the big three, right? But that's calculable. That we can plug that into a fucking formula and use applied regression to like see.
It's like an economic term, applied regression.
Applied regression is essentially like y equals x1, x2, x3, 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 x4, x5, blah 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 blah. You basically
tell me in dummy terms.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Not dummy enough.
Y equals like your delta. Delta is what means like what changes, right? So like what we're trying to find out is like what changes. And so what you do is plug in x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. Those are all variables. And so these variables give you what changes in your Y. So when you plug in the right variables in the right calculus theory, like you can get a Y that tells you like how much this changes based on our variables. And then you pit them against other variables, right?
I still
I'm
don't
giving you a
understand.
super fucking dumbed down version. I don't even know.
It's not dumbed down enough.
So
to be
like,
honest. I'm too dumb for that. I don't get it. You know what else?
No
It's like,
credentials.
no credentials.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we need a little bit of ChatGPT in here.
I like ChatGPT. So my company,
ChatGPT will be like explain quantum physics as I'm a 5-year-old. Explain quantum physics as
interesting.
I'm a 3-year-old.
My company, Joe,
it'll vary like how it'll explain quantum physics, and you can say as I'm a 3-year-old, as I'm a 5-year-old, as I'm a 7-year-old, as I'm a 10-year-old. You can level it in that way.
Interesting.
It's really interesting, honestly. I feel like GPT and AI is gonna fucking like we are at the precipice of something fucking crazy happening.
Oh, I agree.
With AI. I think it's absolutely insane what things are gonna happen.
I agree.
Like look up Mark Andreessen on
His name already confuses
Rogan.
me.
It's MARC and Andreessen. It looks like too much S's.
And dresses
for
Andreessen.
It looks like an Anderson with too many
It's like
S's.
Worcestershire.
But like he talks about it, and like that is one thing that like you should definitely listen to. It just it like blew my mind of like the future of AI, of what's about to happen, and also too it honestly even like eased some concerns of like the potential for them to just take over and murder all of us.
Now that is something I would welcome.
You'd welcome it, huh?
Fucking bring it, pussies.
Wow.
No, I don't. I don't welcome it. But I think it's something that we should understand that might be an issue, because since we've had drone strikes in Afghanistan and Iraq, there has been misfirings.
Yeah. Well, I guess just
When
in
you
general,
when you send an AI drone
to go kill
to go
things.
kill some things and they misfire,
That sucks.
it doesn't just suck, Joey. It's fucking something very terrible
Horrible.
for our future that like we have to like really fucking consider.
I mean, it's just like in war, sometimes there's friendly fire, and that's a horrible
I
thing.
guess, but we don't. I mean, well, yeah, you could put it like that, because we do program those people to go kill people.
Yeah, and not kill the wrong people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's horrible as well.
What
I think war is horrible just in general. I think it's crazy at this point in time.
war is horrible.
in 2023 that we still have wars.
I don't think it's crazy. I mean, Joey, you don't. It almost makes me think that you don't understand like other countries right now, dude. Like we are so incredibly privileged to be like where we are, being able, like me and you can take 4 hours out of our day and go talk.
Just talk shit. I mean, that's pretty incredible. But at the
How
same
many
time,
countries in the planet, like less than half, for sure, less than half,
can do that?
Dude, like I wake up every day and I'm like, oh, I need to go to work. And then the first thing I say after that is, dude, like
I gotta
have
jerk
a
off
bed.
first.
Well, let's not get into it. My girlfriend turns over and she's like, "Meh." Okay, like it's so much easier to like go throughout your day, like realizing that like, brother, if you're an American
You're doing great.
and a white male, you kind of hit the jackpot with the genetic thing. Like I'm not privy to understanding that. Like I understand that. Like I understand my privilege very, very well. Like very, very well. And I know there's nuances to that. Like there's white male Americans that are born into poverty and stuff like whatever. But I wasn't, and like I understand where I'm at and where I sit in like the global socioeconomic structure. I understand that very well. And it's something that like I also don't take for granted. Every morning I wake up and go, fuck, I have to work. And then I'm like, well, at least I have a warm bed. Like, or at least I have like fucking a nice, cool, it's 117 outside. Like, at least it feels nice and icy cool in here. Like fuck, I can wake up and walk to my living room and sit on my chair with my boxers on and fucking go make $35 an hour. Dude, there's like so many situations like along that scale where I could have not done all those things. Literally not done any of those things.
Yeah.
And like I think it's important for us to like understand that. I have no idea where we're going with this. What were we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the biggest thing there is like being born American. I think like that is probably like everyone has a different starting point from within that, but I think like, within America, like you have a lot of opportunity here. And I mean, like, there's different levels of it too, I mean, like I wasn't born
Give me.
I got you.
Give me.
I don't know. I
For
think
those of us who are not watching the video, I am employing Joe to give me more beer because it tastes delicious and I want more of it.
Let's go.
I'm also going to be taking a nice big fat swig of Bullet. Yum.
Official sponsor of the podcast.
Who will
Thank you.
eventually be an official sponsor. I'm sure they would find.
Not eventually. They're an official sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like to be honest, like the biggest thing, as far as like an American at least, it's like obviously there are people that have like horrible starting points, and being born with a decent starting point
Almost
at least
lost
like
that one, Big Joe.
Wow,
I
almost lost that
I
one.
almost had a little spit up.
You mean like a puker?
Oh, I didn't puke. It was a little upsy. Just a little upsy.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is like I think like how we started it is war is maybe like a necessary part, or like I think you said something like
Okay, yeah.
like you understand
we were
how
talking
it
about war.
happens.
We were talking about war.
Like I just think in like our advanced
War is
age,
never necessary, right?
I think that the only reason that it happens is for monetary reasons.
I think
And
war
that
happens because
like
of crazy people.
I think that there's generals gathered in the masses. I think
Just
there's
like witches at black masses. That's
Exactly.
true. Witches at black masses are people who are crazy.
I think there are these crazy people that
Yeah.
get together and say, "How the fuck do we continue to make more money?"
Trump.
I think those people.
So crazy
I think
people.
I think it's a lot of people behind the scenes, and I think it's probably even people in current administrations. I think that these figureheads, that whether it be Trump or Biden or whoever it is,
Yeah.
are just figureheads, and that there's a machine.
Clintons, whatever.
I think that there's a machine that wants to go to war.
Yes.
And if you look at Oppenheimer, and was it Oppenheimer? That's like the new thing that's he was a former
Have you seen
president.
it?
I haven't seen it.
I've not seen it either, but
He was the former president, is that right?
Yeah,
So it was the former president that talked about for the very first time.
No, Oppenheimer was not the former president.
He's the one that like hit the button, right?
He
who was the
one
former
who-
president
he was the one who was like in charge of designing everything.
Who was the former president that like first warned about the
Harry S. Truman?
No, there was one that like warned about the military industrial complex.
That would be Albert Einstein.
No.
I'm pretty sure I'm right on all three of those, but we're gonna find out,
Hold on,
Jamie.
hold on. Jamie, pull that shit up.
I'm almost positive that
Eisenhower. That's what I'm thinking of.
Was it-
I haven't looked it up fully yet.
It was Eisenhower.
Hold on.
I thought it was Truman that dropped the bomb. I'm almost positive it
It
was
just
Truman.
came to my brain, but I still haven't looked it up. I'm pretty sure that's it. So I just looked. Former president warned about military-industrial complex. On January 17th, 1961, in this farewell address, President Dwight Eisenhower warned against the establishment of a military-industrial complex. So this is who I was thinking of.
Truman dropped the bomb, though. Let's get that correct.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that was the guy who dropped the bomb.
Because FDR died literally in 45.
President
I believe.
Dwight Eisenhower got on camera.
Yeah.
It was
He
towards
died in 45. So then Truman.
President Dwight Eisenhower, at the end of his presidency, got on camera and said, like, hey, guys, there's a thing. There is a machine here that wants to go to war.
Right.
They want
It's
to
also
go.
coming from somebody who was with a military backing.
the fucking
yeah.
president in chief. What's it called? Chief and. Wow, we're a bunch of
Hey, guys.
two dummies.
Do you understand?
We're non-credentialed
so-
here. Commander in chief.
If you want to
the
listen,
fucking
you have to
commander in
understand
chief.
you have to be on our page, and that's okay.
The
Our
commander
page is
in
that
chief. We're non-credentialed.
We have no.
We
We're
don't-
non
we don't have
credential. We're
credentials.
non
The
credential.
commander in chief got on publicly spoke and said, like, hey, there is a group here that wants to go to war.
Yeah.
There is
For sure.
something that likes going to war, and it's something that we should be very concerned
us.
about. This was in the 40s.
Yeah.
This was at a time where there was true wars and true
mid-50s.
evil forces. Also far.
Mid-50s.
There's also true evil forces. Let's see. what
Mid
time-
40s. Yeah, it'd be mid.
Oh, so this was not January 7th, 1961.
61, which is a very different time than. So
I mean, pretty fucking
What I
crazy.
was- what I was trying to
be
say,
honest, we're talking about
1961 was
60 years ago.
the heat of the
This
Cold
guy-
War. The heat of the Cold
I mean,
War.
right after though.
right.
Also,
Do you know how many people died in the Cold War?
so we're also talking about right after
How
World
many
War
people died in the
II.
Cold War, Joe?
We're also talking about right after World War II. No, how many?
0.
Wow, that's cool.
Well, that we
I'm
know
sure there's
about.
more than one.
That we know about.
There's more
Because
than
we
0.
actually never declared war.
Well, you're just talking about. That's ridiculous.
Are you pissed?
I'm pissed. So in
I think
1961
what's more
was
interesting
right
is what
after
I wanted
like
to talk
Nazi
about.
Germany and all of this stuff, where like
Okay, let's
there
talk-
was true evil
let's talk
forces
this.
going
Let's talk
across,
this.
and so
Yeah.
we had defeated Nazi Germany and all of these things. And now what is?
Did we
what
truly defeat Nazi Germany?
What was Nazi Germany? 1945. So he's talking about 15 years
That's
later,
when it
16 years
ended.
later.
Nazi
so he's
Germany
talking about
started
he's talking about
1936, if you
16
will.
years later at the end of his presidency. He's like, yo, there's a force here that wants to go to war.
Yeah.
There's people here that want to go to war.
Right,
There's
right,
a
right,
business about going to war, and he warned
there's
us.
always been a business about going to war, of course.
So every single war that we go to, I mean, I feel like it's at a weird point that like we're getting so like it's getting so obvious because information flows so freely that it's almost crass. Like, did you see that we accidentally
do, Joe?
hold on, Case? Did you see we accidentally sent an extra $6.2 billion to Ukraine?
Oopsie.
I-
Joey, you know what we didn't do?
It was an accident.
You know what we didn't do?
What?
We didn't accidentally send him that money. I'll tell you that right fucking now.
It was an accident.
No, we fucking didn't.
They said it was an accident.
Accidentally send $6.2 billion fucking
$billion.
dollars.
We accidentally sent
If
it.
you believe that we accidentally
sent it.
the government that comes after people
It was a
that are trying
clerical
to
error.
that are trying to fucking get by for 20 or 30 grand on their taxes accidentally writes a check for 6.2 billy boys, no fucking way, I won't have it. That to me makes me literally question, like, of course not, of course fucking not.
That it happened.
I know it did, but like, it was not. Someone did it on purpose. There was a directive. There was something fucking going on there. There's no fucking the how calculated our government is, dude, and our military. There's no fucking way. There's no way that amount of money gets lost. I also have
Pentagon accounting error provides extra
hold on,
$6.2 billion
Joe. I have to
for
think
military aid.
Hold it. I have to tinkies.
Okay, let's get Tinky.
Okay.
I have to actually pee again. We started every hour. We're getting every 30 minutes. I gotta pee pretty bad too, though. I gotta pee again. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
That was so good.
We did pretty good there.
You want to get there? Okay,
Come
just go.
on,
Oh,
baby
and you're-
Jeej.
Baby Jeej. Baby Jeej. So we were talking about Hitler or some shit.
To be honest, I forget what point we're on. Do you want to take a shot?
Yep. That I do. That's how I do. Yes. Things could go very different when you bring other people on, but when I'm on, we're drinking.
You know, I'm glad because this is going to be one of my last drinking days. I basically did 6 weeks sober, and then this is going to be 1 week of degeneracy, and I'm back on a sober train before ADCC Chicago. So I got to make a lightweight. Can't be drinking and overindulging.
Well, good for you, man.
Thanks, bud. So it's not a guy I'd love to do it more with
Where have I heard that before?
than my buddy Big Case. I don't know. I have heard that before.
I don't know.
Huh.
Just laugh or something about it. Just do something. Do fucking something.
So Big Case, how the heck are you doing?
We were talking about Eisenhower and the industrial complex. Yeah. And I wanted to bring up Harry Truman, which I think is a fucking incredible. So I'm not going to give anything away about Oppenheimer because I haven't seen it. So obviously I wouldn't be able to give anything away. So that's how that works. But everyone was telling me it had nothing to do with like Harry's like decision to drop the bomb or like the American involvement in the Pacific War or like the kamikazes and like at the time the emperor of Japan literally declaring that like we would send every man into the war with a kamikaze before we surrendered.
That's what they said?
Yes.
Send every man into the war kamikaze.
They said, I mean, it's
Who
not
said that?
it's not verbatim. It's not verbatim, but they literally
Basically said, we'll
we
kill
will
everyone
we
before-
will kill everyone. We will send everyone in until we die.
Before
And
we surrender?
Before we surrender.
Who said that?
Their emperor.
Who's it?
Fucking forget his name. I don't
Wait,
know.
no.
Some
What
Japanese
country?
guy. Japan.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, the war in the Pacific.
Wow. Huh.
Dude, it
And
was
then we dropped
fucking
the bomb?
crazy. We dropped 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you know. There's
No
2
way.
there-
It was like the first one didn't
like,
get it
I
done.
was talking to my friend the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I went to Japan." He was like, "It was pretty fucking sick, bro. Get the fuck out of there." What the fuck are you doing? And he was like, "It was pretty sick, but like." He's like, I don't know. I feel like there's like a little bit of discontent with like Americans and Japanese. And I was like, really? I was like, what? Like, why? And he's like, I could think of 2 reasons.
The 2 bombs.
Oh, man. That didn't hit the way I thought it would. Anyway, you haven't seen Oppenheimer, right?
No, I haven't.
So you don't know if it's the bomb?
That is crazy.
So I think what's more
So
interesting.
Oppenheimer was the
I
guy
think-
that actually hit the button, or
No. Dude.
Who was
The guy
Oppenheimer?
who hits the button is always the commander in chief. Yeah.
so it was like the president
100%.
at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. The last line of defense is the person who says
The
yes.
actual
or
guy that
no.
hit the button, or like
Yeah.
wasn't Oppenheimer?
Maybe he did actually hit the button.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It had to be approved by Truman.
Of course,
which is
yeah.
really interesting because I don't know how much time Truman had, but I don't think it was more than a few months when he was
As
enacted.
president?
Yes.
Only a few months.
FDR died in 1945, dude.
Truman died.
FDR?
Who's FDR?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who ran
Truman,
the
like,
entire
stepped in?
war and was like friends with fucking the dude from Britain and fucking what's his name? The Britain guy. The fuck is the Britain guy's name?
Harry. Truman.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue. It is the courage to continue. Something,
me.
something. Fuck.
I don't know. Any
The
of
fuck
those
is his
things.
name, dude?
An English guy during the war, you're saying?
He was the fucking guy who ran England, bro, during the war.
king?
This is a like classic no credentials moment. We just don't know.
Huh.
You know, but we know, it's that guy. He fought in World War One.
You know, look him up. Jamie, bring it up.
He fought in World War One. He was extremely influential, and he was the one. He said on mic and camera that Adolf Hitler was the single most greatest threat to humanity of the modern era. He was the greatest threat to humanity of the modern era.
Field Marshal sued Douglas Haig.
No. The fact that we don't know what I'm
Prime
saying.
Minister David Lloyd George.
Dude, no. Just Churchill, Winston Churchill.
Oh, Churchill.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an
Yeah.
American guy, wasn't he?
But, oh boy, no credentials, guys. No, he was
Churchill?
not. He was the prime minister of Great Britain during,
wow,
during
Churchill
World
was?
War II. Yeah, and he also fought in World War One.
Oh, wow.
And was in the trenches in World War One. Yeah,
An English guy. Churchill was?
an Englishman.
Oh, wow. Huh.
An Englishman.
I'm not too good with history.
An Englishman, go figure, is the prime minister of England. Go figure.
He was, oh, wow. Huh. See, I didn't know that. Wow.
Him and FDR are famously good friends, by the way.
Really? FDR? Who's FDR?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who served
Freddie Roosevelt.
several terms.
Is that Freddie, not
Not
Teddy?
two. I think he served more than two. I think he served 4 terms. Like he was like the guy who changed it all for us. Like he.
See, I'm not too good with history, to be honest.
That's okay. Well, that's where Uncle Case comes in.
To be honest,
give
like
you some
history was
broken-
always like one of my
some broken
worst
fucked up-
subjects.
I think
Just did
history
not
is
like
really
it.
interesting, right? Because like
Some people love it. Like I was just like, what the fuck does this matter?
you know what everyone says about history, Joe?
What?
They say
It always happens twice.
if you don't understand history, you'll never understand the future, right? Like something along those lines. If we don't understand the consequences of our past, we'll never understand like the consequences of our future, right? Which I think is very true. I think it's extremely true, right? We need to understand those, right?
The past to like better understand the future.
Yeah.
I feel like that it could definitely like help out for sure.
Like, am I going to be enlightened by the fact that the Confederate Army had a comparative advantage by picking cotton with slaves? Help them against the war,
And even they still lost, right?
Is that going to? Well, that's fucking a great story too. Sorry, that's a fucking great story, by the way, dude. Like,
Why the North won over the South?
yes, that is a fucking fantastic story. Like,
Tell me.
I only have snippets because like I only know what I know from like what I've learned, and I'm an economics major and I work in logistics, right? So like
You're a dummy.
again,
We're dummies.
I'd like to put it as I have no credentials, but thank you.
I don't know anything either.
But the big thing that the North would do is they would employ blockades. Right. So the only way that the South was able to make money was to sell their cotton to an incredibly flourishing British market in textiles. Right. So like what they were doing was like using industrialized technology and slaves to mill cotton to get it like ready to go, and then like put it on ships and like send it to all the way across to like Britain. And here's what's really interesting about this story is like, bro, Britain's supposed to be neutral about all this shit. Britain's supposed to be fucking neutral. Like, they're not supposed to have a say. Like, you know, they're not supposed to have a thing. They're not supposed to have like a, what do we, you know, like, no, like Britain, like you need to stay out of this. Like Britain's supposed to stay fucking out of this, right? But well, how do you tell that to fucking
Britain
megalomaniac
at the time.
fucking people
It's like
who
money
are,
that drives it the whole time too.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
so what they would do is they would there's a couple things. They would take granite ships. They would take ships full of fucking granite rocks that would cover the entire coastline of literally from Virginia all the way down to Florida, and they would stop there, and they would stop in the areas where they were going through that like they knew weren't like sand embankments, and they would capsize their own ships and like have these like giant like granite like areas where like you couldn't like go through, right? And it's we found that all the way through, like all the way through the South, right? With like all the way through the South. But what's crazy though is that it didn't really work. Like because like they were able to get in and out. We know it didn't work because we would see different ships that would make it to the Bahamas. So the two places that they were able to still have a trade, the South was still able to have a trade, was the Bahamas and Bermuda, right? So it's if we're looking at like from the South, it would be like due east and like due southeast, all right? And be the only places that you can go. Now, at this point, the Confederacy is floundering. Like they're floundering.
Like
You know,
struggling.
you know what a flounder is?
Struggling. Yeah. Struggling.
They're
is what you're
fucking up.
saying. Yeah.
Like they're struggling, big guy. Like they're not okay. They don't have shoes. That was actually one of the biggest things. They didn't have shoes to put on people's feet. And like, let me tell you, I don't know if you've been in Atlanta, Georgia, in the South during November and December, but it's cold.
Cold place.
It's real fucking cold.
Huh.
Really fucking
I
cold.
haven't been there. I've never been to Georgia in general.
Put your feet on the fucking ground out there and
Pretty cold out there.
yikes. And then have to fight in that. And then like when you kill people and stuff, like taking your boots off of your fucking dead comrades and stuff. And like, dude, like really real shit, dude, you know? Like, I was reading a Ken Burns. I was listening to a Ken Burns documentary one time, which I don't know if you know who Ken Burns is, but he's fucking fantastic. But huge advocate for Ken Burns. But he one time was there's a, I think it's called Civil War. It's literally just called Civil War, and it's like a 8-piece fucking 9.5-hour documentary that I've watched like 11,000 times. He asked a man in, I think, Georgia, and he asked him, he said, you have no slave, like, this was a primary document. So there's primary documents, secondary documents. Primary document is we have a written record of like what you said. A secondary document is like we have someone who has a written record of something you said.
Okay.
Right. So this is a primary document, and the primary document was you have no slaves, you have no land. This is a white man in the South. You have no slaves, you have no land, you have no really reason to fight. Like, why are you fighting? And he said, 'cause they here.
Wow.
Let that sit for a sec.
What is it? What did he mean by that?
Joey, does it mean anything if people come to your house?
Here.
Because they're here. They're here. They're here. They're
That's
here.
about the only reason to truly fight.
Joey, even if you fucking agree with anything ever and whatever our
here.
government does or anything, whatever the fuck, if someone shows up at your fucking front doorstep,
Yeah. That's why, like, to be honest, like, I've been, like, so anti-military my entire life, and it's been taken, like, sort of like a personal revelation to even accept friends of mine who have like gone to the military, because like I've realized that like they've taken noble pursuits, even if I feel that in certain cases it's been misconstrued or maybe for the wrong reasons, or maybe they've been tricked. I've gained a lot of respect for these people, but like my interpretation of military and war and all of these things has always been, there's no one at my fucking door. There's no one out here attacking me. Why am I going to like come outside and try to go to somewhere?
Of not being able to have
If
that.
someone were to, if there were people in Tucson invading on their way to
What would
Phoenix,
you do, Joey?
I would fucking join the military
You would?
and say like, yo, let's go.
You would?
Let's rock.
Okay.
Like I'm part of the
So what if-
squad and we're
can I
about
ask
to
you a
fuck
question?
shit up.
Can I ask
But
you a question?
That's
Hold
not
on,
that's not
before-
the case right now. So I will never like go to
it's not
someone
the case
else's
right now, but
like
we're
city
a
or
little
move.
too young for this. But can I ask you a quick question?
Amy.
If you lived in Lower East Manhattan in 2001, when things happened, we know what we're talking about.
9/11.
And your entire fucking government is telling you this is who the perpetrators are. Mm-hmm. You going?
Makes sense.
Attack on the homeland, bro. Attack on the homeland.
What about Tower 7?
Oh boy, I like that you said that.
What is your opinion on this situation? Because Tower 7, for those who don't know, is a third building that, so everyone knows 9/11 as the Twin Towers, which went down, which by themselves, you know, the main interpretation of that is that there's two planes that went into the buildings and they've collapsed. There was also Tower 7 in addition to the Pentagon, which was also attacked. But Tower 7 was also attacked during this day. And the official report of the day was that there was a fire started on two different floors. A fire started on two different floors. And if you look at the collapse of Tower 7, it goes from a tower, I don't know what it was, 30, 40, 50 stories, something. It was a big building.
If you look at the collapse of most buildings along that stature, they don't collapse. First of all, they don't collapse.
Well, so in this particular situation, let's just like finish that. So like in the Tower 7 collapsed, it collapsed just from top to bottom, collapsed. That's what happened. And then official story on 9/11 was that there was two fires on two different floors, and because of the fires and like, you know, extraneous results of the fires, it caused a collapse of the building. It collapsed from top to bottom. But if you look at the building from a side-by-side between a controlled demolition and Tower 7, it looks about identical. So like the top of the building falls at about free fall speed, just goosh,
Right.
just all of a sudden down.
Yeah.
And so from maybe a novice's perspective, like myself, it looks like it
No
was a controlled.
credentials.
From a no credentialed position like myself, it looks like it was a controlled demolition. I mean, that's just like.
Yeah.
I mean, look it up. Look at the video.
Right,
maybe like
right,
we can
right.
like even
Exactly.
Maybe
And
we could even like tie the video
and that's
right
what
to
we
this.
are.
It,
Right?
it looks
We're
like,
just guys,
just
who
talking about it. Yeah,
talking about it. Exactly.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
looks like a
We're not-
controlled demolition.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just look at a controlled demolition, if you look at Tower 7, it's identical, about identical. So what do we say about that? Like, what was the reason? Was it so here's the
What's
actually
the underlying?
here's
What's the
basically
underlying?
the options
If
of
you're
it.
if you're going to employ that idea that like this is what happened, like we have to have like a motive behind like
exactly.
why we did that.
So
Like,
here's the thing,
you know,
so-
which is honestly
So
the
here's the
first
thing.
time in American history where. Let me just say something really
Yeah,
quickly.
finish it up.
The first time in American history where we can actually have video like evidence and like actual evidence of things that like were self-destructive to our country that
this
like
is 2001.
made us think that like you wanted to have like some type of progressive like push in militaristically.
And not even that,
Which
to be
makes me
honest.
scared. Which makes me fucking scared. Again, no credentials with my ability to
I think the point that you're trying to make is that like there's like 21-year-old thoughts that are millionaires and born after 2001 that like
I don't think it's all. It's not all fucking ponies and rainbows, bro. Mm-hmm. Like it sucks to suck and it sucks to hear, but like the people who run our country are not good people.
So, like, I mean, the biggest thing to me is like,
I want to think they are.
Who knows? Like, I mean, historically, they're not good people, and like historically, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and those are the big like questions to ask during these major events.
Yeah.
So in 2001,
but how do they give transparency?
How does the government give transparency?
How do those people answer for their crimes? They fucking don't, dude. They don't have
Most
to.
of them don't, especially if it's like a real actual
All
crimes.
of them don't.
Yeah. So,
Donald Trump forced a coup. He's gonna win our presidency.
This next one, you think so?
You don't think so?
To be honest, I don't think so. Just because, like, I think there's plenty of people that have voted for him on the first presidency that didn't vote him on the second, and the reason is because like he's not healthy for the general population. Whether you think he's the devil, which it seems most people who are against him think he's truly the devil or an evil person. And I don't necessarily hold that belief with him that he's like truly evil. I think maybe he has altruistic incentives, although I feel like he has succumbed to group thinking and has become a very much you're either with me or against me type person, which is a horrible position for a president to hold. Yeah, I think if you hold that like you're either agree with me or you're against me, I think that's a horrible position for a president to hold. And I think
I would agree.
I also think that he's been generally unhealthy for the general population. So that like most people are not happy or are not comfortable with him being president, and in a way that's like irreparable, or like, you know, there doesn't seem to be a common ground. And so I think for those reasons, he's generally not a good president, because someone who is a good president should be someone who is generally acceptive or generally accepted by the general population. Someone who can be like, yo, this is my message and I believe this, and like for people to be like, you know what, that guy makes sense. And like that, I think just Trump is just not that guy. So I don't think he's a good position. Whether that like so I think he has certain messages that resonated with a lot of people, like the drain the swamp type thing, that there is a swamp in Congress and a swamp in the highest level
I would agree.
of government. That is absolutely still the case, that there's a fucking swamp there. And his message was to drain the swamp. Whether he actually did that, I think probably not.
Of course not. What
I think
the
probably
fuck?
not.
That would
So
have to
message, I think,
completely align
drain-
with his entire political practice and like what he's trying to accomplish while he's in office.
So that means
like,
eliminate
that
a lot
makes
of people
sense.
that are on his side, which apparently he wouldn't do, or I'm not sure exactly.
Do you know what our first president said?
George?
Mr. George Washington.
What did he say?
He said that
Hit me.
factions will destroy our union.
Factions?
Factions.
I mean, like small groups of people?
Groups of people. Groups of people. Groups of people will destroy our union. We don't have a union because we need subgroups of people. We have a union because we have our union. We all need to be united. Federally, we all need to be united. If we are not all federally united, we will have a problem in every factor, in every fucking single thing that we do. And that's okay. In my opinion, I think that's okay. George didn't understand the nuance of what he was trying to say at the time he did it. But moving forward, we cannot give as much as we do to states' rights. Like I am, as far as states' rights, like concerned. Like I love states' rights. I think states' rights are fantastic, right? Like I think that there are things like economically that like Florida wouldn't understand, that like Texas wouldn't understand, that like understand that like Nebraska wouldn't understand, that like we have different places like geospatially like that would not understand like what we do, what they do, what I do, what they do, what it. We don't need to talk to each other about that. Like we know what we do, okay? You know, but like federally, there are some things we need to fucking come to terms about. And that is, I think, the biggest problem in the United States. The most massive problem in the United States. Quite possibly the most massive problem in the world, Joey. Truthfully.
Wow, the world.
Yes, dude. Do you think the United States is important in the world economy?
Obviously.
Do you think the United States is important in the world ability to have human rights?
Probably.
Do you think the world is? Do you think the world itself, outside of the United States, is responsive to the United States and the decisions it makes?
So responsive or responsible?
Responsive.
Responsive in other
Do
countries.
you think that the world itself is responsive into the things that the United States says or does? Is like the world responsive in that? And I have a follow up, and I don't want a huge follow up because I want to give you the reason why I'm telling you that.
So is the world responsive in the way that the United States responds to things? Is that what the question?
Right. So my point is that like if the United States says like, hey, we think that all transgendered people, this is just a fucking ridiculous, like whatever, transgendered people should be able to like be in any sports, whatever, you know. Like I'm not saying like I agree or disagree, whatever. I'm just saying like when then the United States says that, do you think there's a response from like
From the world?
from the world?
I think like the United States like leads most of the cultural and just most talk just generally. I think the United States leads.
Why
a
is
lot of
that, Joe?
Because we're the fucking leaders, baby.
No, I'll tell you why. It's because we have the first thing about our Constitution is what?
What, free speech?
Freedom of speech, bro.
So maybe that's the driver
We
of
get
it,
to
but
say whatever the fuck we want.
maybe that's the driver of it. I think
That's
like
fucking important.
for whatever the reason is, like
There's
we are
very
definitely
few
the
places
leaders
where we are
of
allowed
talk.
to do that.
Yeah. Whatever the reason is, we are definitely the leaders of like speech and talk and new thoughts and creativity. We're the leaders. Whether people like that or not, like we're definitely the leaders in it.
Hopefully, it's not the downfall of humanity.
Us?
If it is, it will be our fault.
You think so?
I know so.
What would be the downfall of humanity?
Oh boy, I think the
Being too fucking
I think the
dope.
perpetuator would be too vast. Honestly.
Too vast?
Yeah, I think.
What does that
there's-
mean?
Well, I think the number one and number two that brings into my mind is a mass World War III, and that we just send.
You know what's
in our
interesting?
entire
I heard someone
world.
talking about the other day is that like the use of nuclear weapons almost guaranteed prevented World War III. So it was like the thing that almost brought us to in
How?
existence because it's the potential threat of us using them again.
Okay, but what about when they get used, Joey?
But they were used once and like that was
Okay, but when they get used,
we used them once, right?
when they get used,
People die.
no, not people die. Entire civilizations
Die.
Like like entire humanity.
So
like
it was our
entire-
use of them that almost guaranteed the not start of that World War III. It was the potential use of this. It was like the gun to the head that like stopped anyone else from fucking around.
Right.
And like that's also the reason we don't escalate any further right now in 2023 is because of the potential use of
Yeah,
nuclear
we just send
weapons.
drones in and just fuck them up.
Well, I mean, we haven't started
No,
that.
that's what we do.
Maybe that's the next step.
Why risk American lives when we can send a little computer in? Hey, put this fucking.
Why
little
risk American
signature.
lives in general? Why risk lives is the true
Because
question.
our
Why risk
constitution,
lives?
Joey, because our constitution, Joey, is the best constitution ever written for any nationality.
That's a stupid nationalistic response to that. What
I
we shouldn't
disagree.
we shouldn't risk lives in general. There's no reason in 2023
If people
that
think
war
that
should be
throwing,
going on.
if people think that throwing, fucking gay people off fucking ledges and like burning women with acid that have been have committed infidelity in Saudi Arabia, and that like fucking like dude, there's things that the American Constitution other people in the world look at and they say, holy shit, like that's where we should live.
Here's the thing.
That's where we should live.
Us invading those countries and forcing them.
No,
those
I
things
agree. We
up-
shouldn't invade
upon
those
them
countries.
doesn't encourage that. Like
I agree,
The fact
I
that
agree,
like
'cause
other
that
people like
is-
burn gay people and fuck up women who are like
I agree.
like unfaithful
Because
in their marriages.
that is a whole different world.
That doesn't like us. Or
Right.
just because we're
I'm
doing
not
it
trying
better
to
than them.
colonize. I'm not trying to colonize. I'm not trying
Colonizer,
I'm not trying to say that we have it better. What I'm trying to
You're
say
like
is
trying to
that,
say you're
like,
a colonizer.
what I'm trying to say is that like, hold on, I need to pee.
I got to pee too. Well,
Yeah,
finish
let's go
your
pee.
point real fast.
No, I can't. Okay, I'll finish my point. My point is that I want to share as a extreme.
You wanna
I'm a
share, like,
fu-
freedom
I'm a
and stuff like
fucking,
that?
I'm a fucking white male from the Silicon Valley with a good, loving family that was blessed with like good genetics. I'm big and I'm fucking strong.
kinda fat
and
right
like,
now.
yeah, thank you. But it's true. But like, I am a part of something that like I want to share with people. Like, I know that what I have is better, literally, than most places in the planet.
It doesn't mean invading other places, though.
I agree. It doesn't mean invading, but it means opening our borders. It means
Okay.
opening our borders to understand that like people need to come here to be able to like find refuge.
I think like opening is like a weird way to say it too, though. Like
We should open this conversation after I pee.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. I gotta pee too. I actually don't have to pee probably as bad as you. We didn't even make it 30 minutes this time. Like I said, it was like every half hour, now every 30 minutes.
I'm gonna need a refresher.
A refresher on what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Honestly, I forgot. I feel like it was an important topic, but
It sounded so good.
Yeah. Should we take a shot?
Yeah, let's take a shot.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm with my motherfucking boy, Casey Anker. How the fuck are you doing today?
I'm fucking good, man. I'm really fucking good, dude. I'm happy. I wake up in the morning, and even when I'm feeling sad, I think about all the things that I get to have that other people's don't. Like, truthfully.
That like makes you happy?
No, like not even that. Like things that like I know other people don't have. You know, like, dude, like our entire world is starving. Like literally our world is starving. They're starving. They don't have beds to sleep in. They don't have like places to be.
You're in a beautiful relationship right now. So that's something that like, you know, you and Sierra like just like found each other.
I've been in much dark places there, Joe. I don't know if you're trying to allure to, but like, yes, I agree. I've been in much darker places.
It seems like you found a person that you really like and like you've gone full go into each other, and that's a really
She's
cool
an
thing.
incredible human.
Yeah.
She's an incredible human who has been able to show me different sides of life that like I have never understood. And I always thought I was like ahead of the curve or progressive, you know, and like she's really kind of brought me to life on all that. So at one point, maybe the podcast can meet her. And
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have her on.
yeah, she'll be on too.
We had like a
She's-
mini conversation just like
I'll
on
tell you
the-
what, she can get, you can get her to talk for 4 hours. I'll tell you that much. I love you, babe. Don't hate me.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Yeah. Very opinionated, which I really like, to be
Yeah.
honest. I feel like it's important to have like
She does not question her beliefs. You know?
Well-
that was one thing that I loved about her.
No, I mean, it seems like she's like a pretty introspective person because like someone who has a strong belief is often like introspective in certain ways and questioning their own beliefs. Maybe like people hold certain beliefs hard because because they've thought about it a lot, but that's not a negative thing.
No.
It means that they've like thought about it a lot, and like
Right.
that's what I really love about like a podcast, or not even just a podcast, just a good conversation. Is that
What a
typically
cod past.
we can get to the bottom of like a lot of our thoughts. Is that like if we have a disagreement in something, like I'm not opposed to changing
Yeah.
my opinion, or
It's okay.
I'm not opposed to any sort of disagreement. I think like a disagreement, especially in something that you hold really important to yourself, is like a really good thing to have, because that means like I've got to defend my point in a certain way, and that hopefully like defends it accurately. And if you can poke holes in like my belief, well, hopefully that'll help me understand exactly what I believe and define exactly what I believe a little bit better.
I love that you say that. I love that you say that, Joe.
You just
The reason why I love that you say that is because one of the best things I learned when I was learning about philosophy was that a forum. Do you know what a forum is?
what is it?
Well, what does a forum mean to you?
Means like maybe like a write up on something.
Okay. But like, who is it shared with?
Whoever like would read the forum on something.
So everyone.
Everyone.
Right. So what forum means in ancient Greek and Roman mythology is that it's an area where you go to repent.
A forum is.
A forum.
You go to repent.
The forum.
You go to
Not
repent.
necessarily repent, but if you got some dirt, you're like, yo, fucking Apollos is fucking this my neighbor's wife, dude. Apollos is fucking my neighbor's wife, bro.
Paulus is fucking her.
You go to the forum and you say, when whatever, let's call her Rachel. Oh, sorry, Rachels. I'm sorry, all the Rachels out there. But let's say like Rachel is fucking Apollos. Everyone would be like, "Oh no, what with the kids and all this stuff?" And you would be publicly chastised by the entire community, and they would tell you like, "No, you can't do that anymore."
Yeah,
They
fuck
wouldn't
Rachel.
fucking lynch you. They would say like, "Look, you cannot do that anymore.
Can't fuck Rachel.
You can't. You gotta stop doing that because you have a family."
What would they tell
and this
Rachel?
is as a community. As a community, we come together and we realize that like you can't just go and fuck Rachel. That's not okay.
That's not cool.
Rachel, it's also not cool for you too. I'm sure the consequences were for the women, but you know,
Probably.
I'm not gonna.
You get like
I'm not
drowned.
gonna.
You're a witch. You get drowned.
She probably got fucked up, man. Well,
not
witches weren't really a thing until much later. Yeah.
I don't know what timeline we're talking about right now, to be honest.
Probably around the 17th century.
Wasn't
Witches
like the
were
witch
not a thing.
timeline?
Well, what we're talking about is before the Dark Ages. And before the Dark Ages, there was no form of witchery that we could, well, maybe not, but like nothing that I understand directly. So what's happening right now is like, if you ever have a guy that's like 19, that's like walking around the bar and like trying to like find things that like are still full, and that he wants to drink. That's what Joey's doing right now. He's just drinking everything inside the fucking bar.
What? I'll take a shot. Do you want to take a shot?
I'll take a fucking shot.
Take a shot, bud.
Kiss Scooter on.
I'll scoot her on.
Yeah, scoot
I'm
her
trying to like also not or just give good mic percentage because like we took a couple pilots. Me and Taylor did a couple pilots and like we just like set shit like right in front of the camera. And we're just like, all right, well that's probably not best. See, just like what you did right there.
Oh, that's a bad spot.
Just the head of
To
it.
be honest, the only camera that I
of it is right
saw
on top.
tonight was the one looking right at me. And do you know why?
Why?
I only care about what's looking at me, baby.
That's yeah.
I'm a piece of shit.
So one thing that we talked about is that like, so we just went to the edge of the world like maybe a month ago or so. Have you ever been there?
I'm sorry, what is this?
It's called the edge of the world.
Oh boy, Eddie Bravo, here we go.
All
I feel like this is an Eddie Bravo
You
thing.
were right, flat earthers.
Oh, fuck. I feel like
No, that's just like what it's called. It's called the edge of the world. It's like this place in between Sedona and Flagstaff, and you have to drive up to Flagstaff actually to get to it. You got to drive up to Flagstaff and then take this dirt road about an hour southwest of Flagstaff. It's called like Woody Trail.
Okay.
And you take it, it takes about a full hour to get to there. And essentially what you're doing is like you're driving along a giant mesa, and you drive to the very end of it, and you get to this edge that's just like a drop off. And when you get there, locationally, you're about halfway between Flagstaff and Sedona. And so you see Sedona, you're overlooking all of Sedona, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Like you can see all of Sedona, but you're at a higher elevation than
I'm assuming you can also see the Green Canyon.
maybe, I'm not sure. But like you're at a higher elevation.
Well, you were there, motherfucker.
I'm not sure what the Greek Canyon is. Yeah, you're at a higher elevation than the highest mountain in Sedona. So you overlook all
I
of
believe
Sedona.
that's 13,700 feet.
No, I don't think so. Sedona is about 7,000 feet. So
It's happening.
you can look it up. So my point is that like you're overlooking all of Sedona, and it's like absolutely gorgeous. And we had this fantastic time over there, and like one thing that we decided was that we were going to explore somewhere.
12,633 feet.
Where is? That's not
Humphreys
the edge of
Peak.
the world. Well, that's Humphreys Peak. That's not the edge of the world, dummy.
Well, it's just the highest peak in Arizona.
Well, that's like not what we were talking about. Well, so like we were planning on going to Humphreys Peak like sometime soon. If you're down to go, I'd love to go with you. If you want to come back to Arizona.
I think we should do Humphreys when it's like treacherous to stay there. And it
wow.
would be like fun,
That
you know?
seems ridiculous.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not just gonna hike up there when it's fucking like time to like have fun, you know? I'm gonna be chilling in San Diego.
Huh, wow.
You should be like coming to me so we can like chill on the beach, bro. Like
I'm down to.
they're like, oh, it's fucking it's You're like, oh, it's June.
I'm down to come see you a bunch of times. I think that'd be really badass.
That sounded really interesting in my head.
It's pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bud. Well, you and me have done about almost 3 hours.
Are you done? Are you done with me?
I'm down to keep
Is that
chopping
what
it up
is?
if you want to.
Is that we don't have a continuity of like what we're talking about for the last like 10 minutes?
Yeah,
but
but we
like,
should be like going from thing to thing.
which I don't care.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Too. I'm kind of.
I'm
hungry,
also
though.
down to. I'm also down to get some food.
You get some food? Let's just go get some food right now.
Oh
you want some?
man, have you employed somebody to be able to edit?
Oh yeah. I got my boy. Hey, he's a good editor. I honestly don't know, to be honest.
He's an editor.
I haven't received any responses back except for me and Taylor did like one pilot that like we've done like 4 pilots like and we had one but I haven't watched the whole thing though too because it's like when you like actually like talk it the whole time it's like are you gonna talk, are you gonna listen a whole hour to like we listened to it a few different points and like it was like wow this seems nice and that was about it. And so they seem pretty legit. I like my like editor. They're pretty cool. Bree seems pretty cost effective as well. So we're gonna like continue to use them, and then I don't know. Seems fun. So
I like science. I like math. I like business relationships. Yeah. I like Big Joe. I like No Credentials. I like you inviting me onto the show. I thank you so fucking much, truthfully, brother. Like for allowing me to be on this fucking shit, bro. Like absolutely, real talk, man. Yeah. You're one of my absolute best friends, and however I can give you a perspective into the life of the person with no credentials. Like,
yeah, I think I'm really excited to have you on. I think we had a really fun conversation.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be sick. And I'm super excited to just like continue to chop it up with you. Yeah. Like you're just like my boy, absolutely. Yeah, you truly are my boy.
My fucking guy, bro.
You truly are my boy.
Can we get one more good slap out of that?
Let's get a fucking good slap.
That was a little bit. One more. Oh.
We're looking for a clap.
Okay, hold on.
I feel like we're getting good slaps. Oh, wait, so like if you're high five and you're supposed to look at the elbows.
Okay, high five.
So like let's just look at eye contact.
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I feel like we're getting ridiculous. All right. Well, anyways, hey, bud, just give me a good slap.
One of them's gonna sound good on mic.
Honestly, all that matters is just like a good like. All that matters is what matters, bud. And so like, what matters is like, hey, bud, I fucking love you, and I love you having you on, and like, you're episode numero uno, and that I really appreciate you making the time to make that happen because. Like I said, you and I have talked about this for like fucking literally years.
Yeah.
Like we had no credentials written on your Kia.
I don't know what it is. Which I still drive, sorry.
On the interior. Like we had no credentials written for at least over a year.
Yeah,
right? Like
for
literally
sure.
over a year.
I didn't wipe it down because I'm lazy.
And we didn't clean the car, but that's okay. And like I appreciate you just coming out, and thank you so much. So I'm fucking super excited that you've been a part of this, and I'd love for you to be a continued part of this. So.
I'd love nothing more to have an elongated handshake that we've had now that makes me feel uncomfortable. Okay, goodbye everyone. I love you guys.
Thank you, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the No Credentials Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm your host Joey. This is my boy, motherfucking Casey Anker. You can't find him anywhere because he doesn't have a single social. Thank you guys. Os.